All right. Hey, Facebook. Hey, YouTube. Hello, TikTok folks. I'm going to try to do this a little bit differently today. We'll see if this works for me because I have a lot of information to share. So we're just going to kind of do this and see how it goes. If you are on YouTube or Facebook, make sure that you say hello so that I know that you're there. If you are on YouTube or Facebook, I cannot see that you joined until you chat. What's up, Aline? How are you? What's up, DJ? What's up, Conchita? Hey, Grammy. Hey, Amy. Hey, Alice. How is everybody? What's up, Oliver? Good to see you guys. What's up, Daniel? Hey, what's up? How are you? Be somebody. What's up, Sass? Good to see you as well. Hello, Christine. What's up, Lisa? Good to see you. Hey, Gumps, Mandarific. What's up, Farah? Good afternoon. It is afternoon, isn't it? What's up, Win Dixie? Hey, Yorkie Mama. What's up, Lynn, Auntie Tinker? It's your birthday. Oh my gosh. So we're gonna have to do the birthday song, aren't we? Yes, that will be yeah, flu, Christine. What's up, Mimi? Good to see you over there in Facebook world. Good to see you. Hey, coolest mom ever. Yeah, I was live yesterday, gonna be live today, and got a lot going on. So we have a lot to cover today. Yeah, we have got a lot to cover today. What's up, Peculiar Eve? Good to see you. So listen, when I say that I have a lot to cover today, I mean I have a lot to cover. What's up, Mary Hubbard? Good to see you. So Linda, she's okay. She's just really sick. So she has a severe case of the flu, which is not great. And so I finally had to take her today and get her checked because she's been pretty sick for a couple of days now. Hey, Artep. What's up, funny face? Good to see you as well. Hey, dirty bad bloggers. Good to see you. Pancho Villa. Good to see you. Yes, I know today is a rough day for Texas public schools, MG Brock. I also know that there is a current active pew pew situation at Florida State University. If you do not know that, hey, Willie Young, what's up, Catsmandu? Kimber, good to see you as well. Hey, Phantom, good to see you. Um, What's up, them kids, Nene? Good to see everybody. So we have a lot to talk about today. And I'm going to share. Hey, Jen, good to see you. I got a lot of information that I want to go over with you guys, especially a document that was not for public release that has been verified to be accurate that came from within the Department of Health and Human Services. It is a proposed budget, and I want to talk about some of the things that they have outlined to be cut. I want to talk about RFK's comments yesterday around autism. There was a lot to talk about. Hey, Ayana, good to see you. And I'll be honest, his comments have me infuriated. Like he's just an asshole. I personally think that he should be held accountable for any damage that happens to children as a result of parents who listen to the things he says. Hey, Lady MQ, good to see you. What's up, Beach Bum Wannabe? They passed the school voucher. Yeah. Hey. All right. Hey, Michael, we got a lot. So hey, Linda, good to see you over there in Facebook world as well. Hey, Deb, I'm going to do my best to stay hydrated. Everybody around me has been sick, and I am doing my very best to ward it all off. Hey, Veronica, good to see you. Yep, I am hoping. I am hoping that Cheryl joins us today. Hey, Carolyn, good to see you as well. Yeah, I'm significantly pissed about his comments yesterday. Hey, Lonnie, and there's just a bunch of things that I want to cover, especially this document, because I am even more infuriated. I didn't know that I could be this. This angry. Yep, I'm back. I was live yesterday. Hey, Danielle, and what's up, Jeffrey, and what's up, Stacy D in the place to be. I know that I owe you a text. Don't cuss me out. I love you. I read it and then forgot to reply. Hey, Conchita. Yeah, you too, Stacy. I was live yesterday for quite a while. What's up, Natalie? Good to see you. All right, so I want to talk about a lot of things today. And yeah, Conchita, she's got the flu. So yeah, yeah, don't cuss me out, man. Terrific. That's what I said. What's up, Tina Noel? Okay, so for anybody that is new, if you are new and you are watching me, please do me a favor and put a 1 in the comments. I just want to level set very quickly before we dive right in. And if anybody wants to, if you have Cheryl's number or if you want to put in the subscribers Discord to Cheryl that I'm hoping she drops in. That would be amazing. Okay, so we got a couple of, thanks, Conchita. We got a couple of new folks in here, so let me level set. So what we do in this live is we do talk about political things. We do talk about public service things. We talk about healthcare. We talk about a lot of different things. And we talk about them from the perspective of facts. So, so let me just say this. You can have an opinion and it does not have to match mine. Okay. I do ask that you are able to provide facts and sources to back up your opinions, because I'm going to do that when I give you mine. What I ask in this space is that you are respectful, that you do not use slurs of any kinds, that you do not spam my comments. What's up, Uka? And that you do not use all caps, right? Because all caps are reserved for my moderators and for those who are vision impaired. And we know who those people are, okay? So yes, there is an active pew pew situation reported right now at FSU, Florida State University. My understanding is that 3 people right now are said to be wounded, but that is literally all I know at the moment. What's up, Laura? Good to see you. Hey, Witch. All right, so yeah, Nini. So there's just a lot, folks, a lot. And I'm going to be bringing up guests in just a moment. Is it up to 4 now? Okay, Beats. Yeah, see, it was 3 just like 10 minutes ago. Hey, Uncle Tang. So, and listen, guys, that's it. If you like the political spaces where people are cussing each other out and screaming over each other or any of that stuff, or where you send a big gift to get people dropped, that's not what we do here. That is not what we do here. If that's what you like, then feel free to join another live. I will not be offended. Here we try to have really productive and effective dialogue. So, so just to let you all know, okay? Lots and lots to talk about. So, yeah, Cam, I can't do it. All right. So I want to start. Gosh, it's almost hard to know where to start, but I'm going to start by playing an audio clip. And I do have the video, but you know how TikTok likes to be, right? So I want to play an audio clip for you of RFK Jr., who is the head of Health and Human Services, much to my disdain. He's not qualified for the job. We all know that he's not qualified for the job. It is angering and upsetting. Oh, hate that, Donna. Glad you are here. Yeah, yelling and the isms are not my thing either. So I want to play this for you all, and then I want us to talk about it for just a second for that, and then I want to go into some more things. Appreciate you, Donna Henderson, very, very, very much. Yes, Grave, I would imagine. So here we go. So let me turn my computer up, and I want you guys to listen to what's being said.
This is an individual tragedy as well. Autism destroys families. More importantly, it destroys our greatest resource, which are our children. These are children who should not be suffering like this. These are kids who, many of them were fully functional and regressed because of some environmental exposure into autism when they're 2 years old. And these are kids who will never pay taxes. They'll never hold a job. They'll never play baseball. They'll never write a poem. They'll never go out on a date. Many of them will never use a toilet unassisted. And we have to recognize we are doing this to our children, and we need to put an end to it.
So he is a horrendous human plant. I agree. Yeah. Hey, Will Knive. Hey, Linda Sims. So if you're wondering why I'm looking this way, I'm using my other monitor this morning. And because I'm trying to be able to see everybody this afternoon. I know it's afternoon and I normally go live in the mornings, but no, he clearly doesn't know anything about autism at all. And City Girl, I was so angry yesterday and this morning when I heard it, right? Suspect is in custody at FSU. Great. Thank you, Stacy D. Appreciate that. He doesn't have a clue as to what he's talking about. Not a damn clue. And so what I don't think that people understand is that the definition and all of the things that are under the spectrum now, right? It has expanded over the years, and even back, in 2013, they added new things up under it. And the thing that I'm concerned about is just like the measles talk, right? I am so concerned about parents who are listening to his rhetoric, who believe what he is saying, and will not appropriately support their children. Um, it makes me very angry. I will, in my opinion, anybody that listens to what he says, follows his medical advice, and harm comes to them as a result, in my opinion, he should be held accountable for those things, because he holds a position in which he should expect for people to be able to that people are going to listen to him, right? And it's just absolutely asinine. And the same way, if you yell fire in a theater, I think that you should be held accountable for that rhetoric. It's very dangerous. And it's ignorant, it's hateful, it's evil. And Oh yeah. Hundreds, like 600 some odd, I think, about now. So I want to talk very briefly. And if Cheryl comes, I want Cheryl to come and talk a little bit more, because she has dug into autism and things like that far more than I have, right? What we do know is that the majority of the science tells us that it's just genetics, that it just is who we are. It's just being neurodivergent, and in different ways, it shows up in different people. And it just means that we support them in different ways. I personally love to watch Love on the Spectrum on Netflix. I love to see them. And this idea this idea that they will never use the toilet by themselves. In what way? In what world? In what world? Right? In what world are they never going to write a poem? In what world are they never going to go on a date, or hold down a job, or whatever, right? Right, Carol, it's like a different operating system, Apple versus Android. It is an absolutely crazy statement to make, and it makes me furious. Your only children, two boys, are on the spectrum. They're thriving in their own unique way. Right. And if anything, right, Rachel, if anything, his comments will keep people from actually getting early diagnosis, early support, early all of those things, right? And yes, Sammy J, many of the most brilliant people in the world are on the spectrum somewhere, right? Your autistic daughter was thrilled to hear she wouldn't have to pay taxes. Yeah, right. Right. Typical versus atypical. You're right, Christine. There is no normal. He does not know what he's talking about, Robin. And it's absolutely infuriating. It's no, Julia, we were saying that folks who are neurodivergent are, it's like just having a different operating system, right? Hey, Marky, good to see you over there in Facebook world, right? It is very concerning that he has that position, and that he has such a large platform in which to spread this amount of significant disinformation, right? Y'all see, I'm struggling to keep from cursing. I'm struggling to keep it together because he makes me really fucking mad. It's just right. We know it's hereditary, and we know it's not anything that we are doing to them. And let me tell you something. Here's what I will say about this. If the United States of America was in any way, shape, or form, Linda, let me just say this. His voice is because of a medical condition, right? So I'm not gonna mock his voice. I'm not gonna say whatever. It's a medical condition, and I don't wish him any harm. What I do wish is that he would shut the fuck up with the disinformation. That's what I wish he would do. I wish he would shut up misinforming people in the public and parents of children, right? That's what I wish he would do. Is just shut the fuck up. So Kennedy needs to watch. Yeah, Jenny Lynn, that's what everyone is saying. He needs to watch Love on the Spectrum because your grandson is a nonverbal autistic and is a math genius, right? He shouldn't say things he doesn't know anything about. And that's the thing that gets me, right? He did lie under oath and say he wouldn't do this. He did. Yeah, I would love to know what type of I would love to know what can be done. No, let me just say this. So here's what I'm saying when we talk about his medical condition, right? I know that his medical condition is what causes him to sound like he does, right? And I don't think that I would mind it as much. Appreciate you, Cam, if he sounded like that and he was actually telling the truth, right? All of this misinformation around measles, around getting the shots, around autism, around all of those things, trying to help that algorithm. I appreciate it, girl. I really do appreciate it. Because we are rebuilding after being gone for a week, right? Everybody needs to be outraged by this, and I believe that lots of people are, right? It's angering for me. And let me just say this, you guys. There was something that that somebody said to me the other day when we were talking about different members of the Democratic Party. And we know that the Senate had the majority in terms of these confirmation hearings. That does not mean that the Democratic senators on those committees had to vote in favor. So what I would like to do now is go back and take a look at those Democratic senators that were on these different committees, right? And hold them responsible, because every single one of them should have voted against all of these damn nominees. There's not a single one, as far as I know, that are qualified for the jobs that they are in. And definitely not this guy, right? Let me see. Well, yeah, DJ, because most of us get our shots as children. And this idea that I don't know that people realize that we have saved lives with the advancements in medicine over the years. And here's what I do know. If the Trump administration was at all concerned about our environment, right, then he would not have loosened the guidelines and the restrictions on corporations and chemical companies during his first administration, right? He wouldn't have done the things that he's done with regard to the EPA and all of those things. What we know for sure is that they give zero fucks about our environment. We know that for sure. What they care about is the green, the money. That's all they care about. They don't care about what they put in your food. They don't care about what they put in the earth. They don't care about ruining waters and rivers that lead into the oceans. They give zero fucks. If they did, we would have more regulations on these companies and penalties for it when they do it repetitively. Right. He put an oil exec in charge of EPA. Exactly. The EPA, 100%. And this is my thing, right? They're more than just greedy, right? Oh, Danielle, you did not hear. I will play it for you one more time. So this is from Robert RFK's press conference yesterday. I'm sorry, he's very angering. And I will let you hear this 54-second clip of what he said yesterday regarding autism and autistic children. So here we go.
This is an individual tragedy as well. Autism destroys families. More importantly, it destroys our greatest resource, which are our children. These are children who should not be suffering like this.
So he said autism destroys our children and they shouldn't be suffering like this.
These are kids who, many of them were fully functional and regressed because of some environmental exposure into autism when they're 2 years old.
So he says they're normal, perfectly fully functioning, and then regress at around the age of 2 years old, right? Because of some sort of environment that we expose them to.
These are kids who will never pay taxes. They'll never hold a job. They'll never play baseball. They'll never write a poem. They'll never go out on a date. Many of them will never use a toilet unassisted. And we have to recognize we are doing this to our children, and we need to put an end to it.
So that's what he said. And it is absolutely infuriating that he is so inaccurate, so uninformed, so disinformed, so whatever. Yeah, Danielle. Wow. And so I wanted to talk about that today so that everybody realized what he's saying. Um, and just how inaccurate it is. You know, Amy, I don't know if it's intentional. I know that this has been his position for a while now, right? But here's the thing: these two things don't align for me. Okay. So you cannot tell me that you are concerned about the environment while you put an oil exec in charge of the EPA. You cannot tell me that you care about the environment when you allow pipelines to run through not only sacred Native American grounds, but right by water sources. Here's what we know about pipelines: it is never a question of if they are going to leak. It is always a question of when they are going to leak, because they always leak. All of them, they always do. The Dakota Access Pipeline has already leaked. It leaked within the first year, right? And yes, it is all about eugenics. That is their thing. Trump believes in eugenics. It's just a thing. They believe in these superior genes. So this brings me to the next topic that I want to share with you guys. And I want you all to bear with me because you're going to be extremely concerned. Okay, so this document has now been verified by the Post to be legitimate. Okay. And it was not for public distribution. So I don't know if you all also know this, but the third person from the Pentagon has been fired because of due to leaks. And apparently they are the third person to be around Pete Hegseth. And those people have been fired and walked out of the Pentagon. So there's that, right? But anyway, so this document, as you all know, I do a lot in terms of like rural issues, right? Mary D, you got me. I don't know. So let me just say this. So this was shared in I'm in a chat with rural organizers, rural progressives, and advocates from around the country, and we share lots of information with each other. There are some people that are in the ag sector of things. There are other people that are in the healthcare sector of things. And a document was shared that was published on an Inside Medicine Substack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the link to that Substack in my link tree, and then you can download the 64-page document on your own, okay? Because that's what I did. So this is a 64-page document that are the proposed budgets for HHS programs, okay? Let me see if I can pull this up real quick and put this in here for you, because I lost my shit when I was reading parts of it today. So give me 1 second. All right. So let me tell you the parts of it that I have found. So this is from an Inside Medicine Substack. So let me tell you what it says. It's new. It's a 64-page HHS restructuring proposal, which outlines sweeping cuts to U.S. public health. And after I talk about this, then I'm going to start bringing guests up. Okay. So if you all would like to come up and discuss it, give me just a couple of minutes to go over this. And then I'm going to bring up, 4 or 5 or 6 of you, however many of you all are requesting to come up, and let's have some discussion around this. Okay. So first, let me tell you, Inside Medicine had published this screenshot from this document showing what appears to be a draft of a massive reorganization within HHS, right? Shortly before that, the Washington Post had also reported on the existence of this document, okay? Because they are the same document, which is now confirmed, both the screenshot and the remainder of the document have now been authenticated by the Post. So this is the entire 64-page document. What's up, Jessica Simone? And I want to share with you a few things that I immediately have laid my eyes on that are ridiculously concerning. So where should I start? I'm going to start. So does everybody know what the AHA is? So it is the Administration for a Healthy America. That's what AHA is. What's up, Marnie? And so start with RFK. Yeah, I already did. We already did that, Dano. We already covered RFK quite a bit. And so we're moving into this document from HHS, which is still RFK to some degree because he's the head of HHS, right? And so, nope. So this is within the, this is pre-decisional. I want to be clear that as of the 10th, which is when this document was created, all of these things were pre-decisional, and it says not for distribution, but it was distributed. It was distributed, and the Post has confirmed it. So here you go. I want to share with you a couple of parts. Okay. So it tells you, here's the statement at the very top. It says, the tables below summarize the 2026 budget for AHA primary care. Got that? And it says the budget extends mandatory funding for health centers through 2026. The budget will propose 2 new policies related to health center funding in 2026. HHS will establish a process to update medically underserved area and medically underserved population designations to ensure that health centers grantees are continuing to serve as a safety net for low income and medically underserved communities. Now, as you all know, hospitals that are operating as safety net hospitals, that is a specific designation that allows those folks to get more money from the government, just in case you did not know that. Health center program grant terms and conditions for health centers participating in the 340B pricing program should require that patients at or below 200% of the federal poverty level be charged no more than the 340B price plus a dispensing fee for drugs purchased under the 340B pricing. 340B pricing is a discount program, and there are different qualifications in order to meet that. So in order for healthcare centers and hospitals to qualify for a 340B pricing program, they have to have a certain percentage of their population, either 8% or 11%, that meet that poverty guideline, okay, in order for them to qualify for 340B pricing. So that's kind of staying there, which you would expect, because I would expect for hospitals and healthcare centers to still want to make a shit ton of money at the expense of people. So I would expect for those things to stay the same and benefit the corporations. Things that I'm concerned about. So this is under primary care. These are the things that are going to be cut. Yes, this is separate from Medicaid. Medicaid is through your state, Training Alpha. So AHA primary care program eliminations. Remember that these are pre-decisional. So listen to what I'm saying. This is pre-decisional information, and it has not been rolled out. I'm saying that again so that everybody hears me say it's pre-decisional and hasn't been rolled out yet. Folks, listen, I was gone for a week. I was at the Michigan Democratic Rural Caucus, which means I was not live for a week. So if you are on TikTok and you can click that red heart at the top, which gives me like, it costs like 1 coin, that will help the algorithm. If you can like, if you can share, and if you are able to and gift coins, that's amazing because it will help me kind of get back in the game where TikTok is concerned. What's up, Doug? Okay, so I've said that. Now I'm going to keep going. Appreciate you guys. All right, so here we go. These are the proposed pre-decisional eliminations of primary care programs under the Administration for a Healthy America. Here it goes. You ready? Rural hospital flexibility grants. Just listen to that one. Rural hospital flexibility grants. State offices of rural health. Rural Residency Development Program, At-Risk Rural Hospitals Program grants, Family Planning, Hansen's Disease Facilities, Youth Violence Prevention, as we just have another active pew pew today, Adverse Childhood Experiences, Firearm Injury and Mortality Prevention Research. Now, I want you all to hear me that as of 2019, the number one unaliving of our children is pew pews. Facebook and YouTube, I have to say pew pews for TikTok. These are proposed eliminations, and this is pre-decisional. Yes, we did, Jen Penn, at Florida State University. I'm not done. Here's some more. Traumatic brain injury, formerly was part of the CDC. Okay. Drowning, elderly falls, which was also formerly part of the CDC, other injury prevention activities, and injury control research centers. All of those are under the AHA primary care program eliminations table. Again, I'm going to repeat this. Proposed pre-decisional as of the 10th. Thank you, John. There's more. Give me 1 second. I know, but there's more, as if that's not bad enough. So, under the Administration for a Healthy America, there are different segments. So that was the primary care segment. This segment is the maternal and child health program. And now what I'm going to do is share with you the things that are listed under AHA maternal and child health program eliminations. First thing listed, autism and other disorders. Healthy Start. Newborn screening for heritable disorders. Sickle cell service demonstrations. Universal newborn hearing screening. EMS for children. I'm going to skip this one because I need to come back to it. Teen Pregnancy Prevention Program. Teen Pregnancy Prevention Program. Office of Population Affairs. Embryo Adoption Awareness Campaign. Now, there's another one in here that I want to point out. So there's Title V block grant, and then there's something called SPRANs. Okay, and I had to look these up to find out what it was and what it meant. Okay, so let me share it with you. So I went to the Association of Maternal and Child Health Programs. So they lead partners and collaborate with congressional champions to support Title V Maternal and Child Health Services block grants, which is the Title V MCH block grant. And there's something called a SPRANS grant. Okay, so listen. SPRANS stands for Special Projects of Regional and National Significance. That's what SPRANS stands for. Special Projects of Regional and National Significance. So they wrote this letter, right, with lots of physicians. It was 77 national organizations and academic institutions that sent a letter to the leadership of the House and the Senate Appropriations Committee supporting an increase to Title V SPRANS funding for fiscal year 2025. Okay, this was done in September of 2024. So understand that SPRANS, Title V SPRANS funding is separate from the block grant. So in this proposed restructuring, they want to take $10 million of SPRANS funding for minority serving institutions and reallocate it to the state block grants award. They want to take $10 million of Title V SPRANS money that's specifically for serving minority serving institutions and reallocate it to Title V state block grant awards. Thank you, guys. And there's still more. So give me a second, folks. And I want you all to, yep, the sickle cell was also a direct attack on minorities. Definitely targeting minorities, 100%. There's more. The budget. Okay, so I'm moving on to the mental health section. So we've covered primary care. We've covered maternal and child health services. Right, Laura. Yes, which there's more. So this is the mental health section. And remember that these are proposed. This is pre-decisional, but I'm just sharing with you the information because so far what I have seen is an attack on rural communities and minorities. Yes, Kim, I am adding it. So here we go. So the tables below summarize the 2026 budget for AHA mental health. And it says the budget funds the 988 self-unaliving prevention and crisis lifeline at the 2024 enacted levels. The budget maintains the $10 million for specialized services for Spanish speakers seeking access to 988 services through text or chats and eliminates, listen, and eliminates the 2024 congressionally directed set aside within the 988 for specialized services for LGBTQ plus youth. I want to say that again. I want you all to hear what I'm saying. Thank you, Linda. It says, and eliminates the 2024 congressionally directed set aside within the 988 for specialized services for LGBTQ plus youth. And it says by April 15th, please provide a proposed allocation of 988 funding. So only cis hetero youth matter. So again, the document that I'm reading from is a proposed reallocation and restructuring of HHS. This document was not for distribution. It was distributed. It has been verified and validated by, hold on, let me give you both things. It has been Inside Medicine and the Post. Those two have verified the authenticity of this. No, Brandy, yes, but it's not the 988. So that is the unaliving by yourself, like self unaliving. That is the 988 mental health line. So there were special services set aside specifically for LGBTQ plus youth. And this says no, that part will be eliminated. I know, Anissa, I know. So, guys, this has nothing to do with insurance. This is literally programs through the government that are being restructured and or eliminated within HHS, and this is how it is being proposed right now. This is going in the link tree. Yes, it goes in the link tree as soon as I'm done. Okay. So it says, and I'm going to read from it. Listen, it says AHA mental health program eliminations. I'm going to give you all of it. Okay. Mental health awareness training, project launch, healthy transitions, infant and early childhood mental health, children and family programs, interagency task force on trauma-informed care, mental health system transformation and health reform, crisis response grants, criminal and juvenile justice programs, primary and behavioral health integration, tribal behavioral health grants, minority fellowship program, homeless prevention programs, consumer and family network grants, and the Minority AIDS Initiative. Guys, I'm reading an HHS document. This is coming from the Administration for a Healthy America, and this is from HHS. This is the proposed cuts. These have not been done. Listen at this. I need y'all to hear me. This is pre-decisional. So I'll read to you the beginning of it. It says, Department of Health and Human Services, HHS 2026 discretionary budget passed back April 10th, 2025 overview. President Trump has committed to balancing the budget while providing adequate funding for critical non-defense discretionary priorities, securing our borders, caring for our veterans, and continued infrastructure investment. Reaching balance requires resetting the proper balance between federal and state responsibilities with renewed emphasis on federalism, eliminating the federal government's support of woke ideology, protecting the American people by deconstructing a wasteful and weaponized bureaucracy, and identifying and eliminating wasteful spending. This is at the top of this document. Okay. I'm saying this again. This is pre-decisional, okay? Let me get back to where I was. Oh, there's more. Hold on. Minority AIDS Initiative, assertive community treatment for individuals with SMI, and then seclusion and restraint. Substance abuse prevention eliminations, minority fellowship program, tribal behavioral health, minority AIDS initiative, strategic prevention framework, and the STOP Act. Substance abuse treatment, PNRS eliminations, pregnant and postpartum women, improving access to overdose treatment, criminal justice activities, overdose prevention, first responder training, and it says in parentheses, naloxone, peer support assistance center, emergency department alternatives to a specific type of medication that a lot of people had issues with in the Appalachians, starts with an O. Comprehensive O recovery centers, screening, brief intervention, and referral to treatment, children and families, minority fellowship program, treatment, recovery, and workforce support, building communities of recovery, recovery community services program, treatment systems for homelessness, minority AIDS initiative, targeted capacity expansion, youth prevention and recovery initiative. Other eliminations include certified community behavioral health centers. For fuck's sake. So this is for oh my God, you guys. Sorry. I want you all to remember that this is pre-decisional. It has not been done yet. I need you all to hear me say this clearly so that you all understand what I'm saying, okay? This next section is environmental health. Donna Henderson, we don't speak like that, remember? Yeah. Okay. So let me get to the rest, you guys. Yeah. So you got to remember, we're not going to speak anything that we don't want to happen. Okay. We're not going to do that. Hey, what's up, cuz? I know, Jackie. I know. RFK's comments made me really, really angry. Yes, Deb, according to, listen, these are the proposed cuts. No, they are not voted on. This is not, listen, I need y'all to hear me. This is not something that Congress does anything about. This is an administrative restructuring of a federal department. Okay. And these are, yep, RFK. And these are proposed and it's pre-decisional. Okay. So the next part is environmental health. Okay. Yeah, Mr. Barrios, I agree. Unbelievable. It's really nuts. It's very, very nuts. Don't be scared, be concerned. Okay. No decisions proposed. Yeah. So this is where you raise holy hell with the folks that are in Congress. This is where you let them know, I am going to be posting the link to this document in my link tree. My link tree is in my bios on all the platforms, right? So yes, you can call HHS, you can call the White House, you can call your representatives, all the things. I want you to read the document for yourself. Okay. Like I said, it was shared with me in a group that I'm in. Okay. So this next section is environmental health. So I want you all to hear this. This budget includes funding environmental health laboratory, all other environmental health and safe water programs, funding for all NCEH, which is the National Center for Environmental Health, is discontinued. So the National Center for Environmental Health is keeping only the Environmental Health Laboratory. Thank you, C. The all other environmental health and safe water programs, and that's it. The National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health. These were things that were normally within CDC, folks. The budget includes funding for firefighter cancer registry and national mesothelioma registry and tissue bank, as well as the World Trade Center Health and Energy Employees Occupational Illness Compensation Program Act mandatory programs. Funding for all other National Institute for Occupational Safe and Health programs is discontinued. Let me go down to the list of eliminations. No, not OSHA is gone. You got to listen, guys. You got to listen. It is specifically the National Institute. You got to listen. It is the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health, which was formerly part of the CDC. There's all the stuff that they're keeping, and the budget funding is in here, but when you get down to the bottom of each set of tables, it tells you what the eliminations are. So let me give you. So the the Administration for a Healthy America Environmental Health Program eliminations are this. Oh. The National Center for Environmental Health. These are their eliminations. Amyotrophic lateral sclerosis registry. So the ALS registry is proposed to be eliminated. Just listen. Climate and health, environmental and health outcome tracking network, asthma, childhood lead poisoning, and the lead exposure registry. All of those are on the National Center for Environmental Health. They are on their proposed eliminations. Thank you, yes, for subscribing. I can't tell you if it will involve job cuts as well. I'm just reading a proposed cut and restructuring. Okay. The next is for the National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health, right? These are those proposed eliminations. Education and research centers, personal protective technology, the National Occupational Research Agenda, which is NORA, mining research, and other occupational safety and health research, in parentheses, total worker health. Oh my God. Sorry. I want to, before I tell you about this, I'm just taking a second because this is gonna impact a lot of people, and specifically one of my best friends. Um, fuck my life. Oh my god. Um, they want to eliminate the Ryan White HIV/AIDS programs, the Ryan White Dental Services, the Ryan White Education and Training Centers, the Ryan White Special Projects of National Significance, the Ryan White Ending HIV Epidemic, and the Secretary's Minority HIV/AIDS Fund. Now, I want to share with you all about this incredible program. In 2023, the Ryan White HIV/AIDS program reached a record-breaking 90.6% viral suppression rate among clients receiving HIV medical care. That's an increase from just 69.5% virally suppressed in 2010. In 2023, nearly half of the Ryan White HIV/AIDS program clients were aged 50 years and older, reflecting the program's success in helping people with HIV live longer, healthier lives, and supporting quality of life efforts through improved access to HIV medications and comprehensive care. The Ryan White HIV/AIDS program provided life-saving care, medication, and essential support services to over 576,000 people with HIV in 2023, an increase from 561,000 people with HIV in 2020, representing more than 50% of people with diagnosed HIV in the United States. In 2024, HRSA announced a new policy action to facilitate access to housing for people with HIV that are served by the Ryan White HIV/AIDS program recipients through guidance that enables, for the first time, the use of Ryan White HIV/AIDS program funds to cover housing security deposits for eligible clients. This guidance advances critical elements of the national HIV/AIDS strategy announced by President Biden and the Ending the HIV Epidemic in the U.S. initiative, and addresses a key barrier that has been raised by patients and advocates, as data show that clients with stable housing have significantly higher viral suppression rates. I'm going to give you all the link right now to the Ryan White program. I learned about this because I was being considered for a position with HRSA. I'm fine. I'm speechless. It cannot happen. Oh, why did it say? Hold on one second. Let me refresh my browser for a second. Let me keep saying that these are proposed. These are pre-decisional. In the link tree is the link to the Ryan White program. All right. So again, I'm sorry, you guys. Let me just say something about this. Anyone who supports this madness, right, Kathmandu. I know that none of this has happened yet and it is just pre-decisional. I know that. Yeah, Jeffrey, I know that. And while I know that, um, it is absolutely astounding that we would consider doing these things. You cannot tell me, so let me just tell you guys, this has been reported by the Post, by Fierce Healthcare. It projects $40 billion in cuts. And they are proposing to let the Affordable Care Act subsidies expire. So let me answer your questions about employment, because I'm going to give you the press release from the Department of Health and Human Services that went out March the 27th of this year. It says HHS announces transformation to make America healthy again. And it says the restructuring will address this workforce optimization initiative and serve multiple goals without impacting critical services. And it tells you it's going to save taxpayers $1.8 billion a year through, listen to me, through a reduction in workforce of about 10,000 full-time employees who are a part of this most recent transformation. When combined with HHS's other efforts, including early retirement and fork in the road, the restructuring results in a total downsizing of 20,000 full-time employees. I need a break from reading for a second. Let me bring some folks up, please. I need a break from reading for a second.
Hi, Dani.
Hi, love. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, it's horrible. Because I just did the math on just the Ryan White program, which is only $2.5 billion of a $1.8 trillion HHS budget, which means it's 1%.
Right, 1% of their entire budget, like U.S. aid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's stuff. Oh.
No.
This machine is really loud. Yeah, the stuff that they're cutting from the federal budget, the employees, it's such a fraction of our budget as to be like non-existent. It's almost nonsensical. So if you take away the financial aspect of it, then what are you left with? You're left with, it's all about their ideology. It's all about hurting people. It really is all about the cruelty. And them wanting to hurt minorities, them wanting to hurt marginalized communities like the LGBTQ and, you know, kids with autism and, you know, people with AIDS. It's like you're left with no other conclusion.
Right.
And it's horrific. It really is horrific.
Yeah.
And that's before you get into all the jobs that are cut and all the families that are hurt, you know, and devastated from that. Like, people don't realize that we go into college, some of us, to get degrees to go work for the government. Like, that's our career, right? It's government.
Right.
And so there's scientists, biologists, chemistry people, statisticians like me, who, like, we don't have a backup. We can't just go into the private sector. There's no equivalent in the private sector for many of our jobs. So
Right.
what are we supposed to do now? We have so much financial debt. We have so much loan debt, like student loan debt, that we're trying to pay off. The deal that we were made was that if we took out all these loans and we you know, went and got an education, that we would be able to work 10 years for the federal government, have our loans forgiven. They're trying to take that too, right? So it's like there's so much going on, but like I always said, the cruelty is the point. I did want to say one thing about the RFK thing. I just wanted to remind everybody, to tell people that might not know, and I know you already know this, Dani.
Yeah.
But during his confirmation hearing, Elizabeth Warren got out of him that he gets 10% of every lawsuit against a pharmaceutical company for a child who was damaged, quote unquote, damaged or hurt by a vaccine.
Yes.
So
that's his little foundation or whatever.
Yeah. Yep. She tried to extract from him a promise that he would separate from this company, so that he would no longer benefit financially from anything he did at HHS, which is what he's doing. And that's, I believe that this is to help their lawsuits, because now they can go into court and say, well, the director of HHS, the secretary of HHS just said this, and and it strengthens their case, and they can get these pharmaceutical companies to settle for more money and to settle a lot.
Yep. So I remember her specifically asking him about this company that he started or whatever. And apparently he does like he did videos for them or whatever. And she asked him specifically about getting a certain amount of money, a percentage. I probably did Cam play it at the time, but yeah, he gets a cut whenever there's a lawsuit. So I need to remind everybody again, these are pre-decisional. However, they have put out a press release about it, so I don't know how fucking pre-decisional it is, but it's pre-decisional, right? And so not written in stone. We need to fight like hell to keep these programs. There are so many of them that are going to be devastating for individuals, especially the Ryan White program. So this is the thing. The press release went out on March the 27th of 2025. That's the one that I'm reading from two different documents. One is their announced restructuring, right? Their press release from March the 27th. The other one is the leaked proposed restructuring that was verified by the Post as being legitimate. So the Post and Inside Media have both posted them, and then so has Fierce Healthcare, Endpoints News, all of those things. And then I read it from Jeremy Faust, who's the Inside Medical on, oh my God, Substack. Yeah, so this is while it is so important for every individual to absolutely raise holy hell, right?
You're starting it. Can I ask? I just joined. Do you have a child with autism?
Let me ask why you ask.
Oh, because I do, and I was just wondering if I'm in the right chat.
You are in the right chat. We're fucking furious. You're in the right chat.
Okay, so am I, and so thank God, because I was wondering when somebody else was going to speak on this.
Yes, I've already played I played the recording.
At this point, I'm sorry.
No, I've played the recording twice. And we're also going over the leaked HHS document for the restructuring of HHS. And I don't know if you know that autism is included in that. So let me go back up to this section. And these are, again, I keep saying this is a leaked document that is pre-decisional. So that means you're going to have to raise holy hell to keep any of this from actually going through. So I have to go back up to the very beginning for that one. So under the maternal and child health program eliminations, it is autism and other disorders, Healthy Start, newborn screening for heritable disorders, sickle cell service demonstrations, universal newborn hearing screening, EMS for children. The Supreme Court is going to review Trump's attempt to ban birthright citizenship. For fuck's sake.
I know.
Sorry.
It's on me as well. So, oh my gosh.
So Dani, so kind of to go to what you were speaking about, these proposals, I am a mental health, I'm a licensed professional counselor, and this troubles me a lot because there are so many people that need treatment, and this is going to be devastating, and it's really troubling.
It is beyond. When I'm going to put up the link to the entire document that I am giving you, because there's all the budget stuff is in there. But what I'm doing is there's all these tables, and then at the very bottom of the tables, there's a separate table. And under that table, for each of these departments, there is a list of what's being eliminated. And so what I'm doing is going straight to whatever is being proposed to be eliminated so that I can give you that. So yes, I can repeat what I just said. So the Supreme Court has scheduled a rare oral hearing to make a decision regarding Donald Trump's eliminating birthright citizenship. I don't even know what to say. But that's going to be in May.
That leads to a lot of questions. Birthright citizenship. I mean, how does he define birthright citizenship?
I think what he is saying is that currently, if you are, so what he is saying is that if you or your parents are immigrants and they come here, if they are not citizens, right? If they have not become citizens, then and they have children here, then their children are not automatically American citizens.
Okay, that's wrong.
So that's what he's saying. He is saying that if you're an immigrant that comes here, whether you come from China or from Mexico, and you are not a citizen of the United States of America, and you have birth and you give birth, then you are not a citizen. Right, which I don't know what that means for Barron. Because Melania,
I was thinking the same thing.
I don't know when Melania became a citizen, to be quite frank. And well, so let me just tell you, here's my thought process. I don't believe that it will be retroactive. I believe that it will be moving forward. What you need, Mama?
Thermometer. She's cooking.
Oh, shit. Sorry, guys. Hold on. It was right here. Hold on. I'll get it. Hold on. Lisa, can you do a,
Sure.
thanks.
Sorry. I was going to say.
Go ahead.
Questioning you know, for the Constitution and you know, he's throwing that out the window. And I don't know where Congress is right now. I don't understand where they are right now. Why aren't they fighting for us? I mean, I know a few people are, but what the heck? I just don't get it. And I don't understand why more, right now, it shouldn't be party versus party. It should be moral character or how you believe, you know, the U.S. should be. And those people are just riding along with Trump instead of thinking about, you know, what could happen. I mean, take a look at what John McCain did back in the day, you know, when he did the thumbs down for accepting, you know, he was the one that made sure that Medicaid stayed in. And he did a great source for us. I don't know why other people are not standing up like he did. They're so scared of Trump right now. I don't understand.
So
It's like
on that
fight.
on that note, not to interrupt, I want to play this. This is actually a recording from Lisa Murkowski. Lisa Murkowski had a town hall, okay? And listen to what she said to her constituents about being scared of Trump. Listen.
Oftentimes very anxious myself about using my voice.
She said, oftentimes I'm very anxious myself about using my voice.
Because retaliation is real.
Because retaliation is real.
And that's not right.
And that's not right.
But that's what you've asked me to do.
But that's what you've asked me to do. That's what she said. She said, oftentimes I am quite anxious myself to use my voice because retaliation is real. And I believe that there have to be people within the Republican Party, like Liz Cheney did, like Adam Kinzinger did, who say, fuck it, if I don't get reelected, this is what I was elected to do. This is my job to do. And so what?
And this is a whole different story.
Right.
You know,
This is literally a coup from the Oval Office.
right. And Bernie Sanders and AOC are getting out there too. And that's
Yes.
a positive.
They are. What we all have to do is get out there too. We all have. Now, let me just say this for Black and brown people. If you don't feel comfortable in the street, I hear you. I just don't want you to sit back and do nothing. You have to do the work from somewhere else in some other fashion, right? The Trump administration retaliates, right? And I think that it's just really important to hold the Republican Party accountable for this because they are the issue. 100%. So let me just tell you all something, right? Is that if the Republicans had squashed this shit in their party, we would not be here right now. They had the opportunity to get rid of him, but they were too scared of losing their seats. So their seats should be taken away from them, period.
Not just scared, but they were just money hungry. They
Right.
knew what he was going to provide to them.
Yes.
I mean, that's what it is. The majority there all stand because of money hungry.
Yep. Money and power. And that's it. And so they want that proximity to that money and to that power.
And let's be real, you're right. The racism is real. I mean, come on. If we look at it, like,
Well, and discrimination against women too. I mean, it's racism and discrimination against women.
Yeah, there's plenty of points of intersection, right?
Absolutely.
So specifically taking away the set aside funds for LGBTQ when it comes to mental health and the 988 line, Let me just tell y'all, that is damn significant,
I know.
right? This is the thing that has to happen. Every single person, and I don't know if you saw, but they said that Trump also said that anybody that is calling for Kilmar Abrego Garcia to be brought home and get due process could be considered aiding and abetting, which that's not really how it works. But that they could be federally charged. And I'm like, do you even fucking know what aiding and abetting is? Aiding and abetting is what you did, right? Like that ain't
Exactly.
yeah. Thanks, Laura. So I'm just so the citizenship, the birthright citizenship, that case is going to be orally heard before the Supreme Court next month, which is a rare thing to have happen, but that is what the Supreme Court has agreed to do. This will be interesting to see where people come down and how the court comes down. I think that Amy Coney Barrett has surprised a lot of people. And I am hoping that this is another one of those times that she does the same thing. Yeah. So let me do this. You guys can feel free to hang out here for a minute. I'm going to let JK speak for a second, and then I want to give you guys a little bit more of this information. Oh, Lisa dropped. No, so Vinyl Sessions, let me just say this. Racism is being used as a tool, but it's not a distraction. Let's just be clear, because their proposed cuts, the ending of the program addressing the sewage in African American communities, that is not a distraction. Those are very real consequences. A distraction is when it's just something to make you take your eye off the ball and nothing really is happening, right? But there are things that are actually happening, specifically targeting minority communities. So let's don't call that a distraction. It's a fucking tool. I will agree with you there, but it's not a damn distraction. Not even close. Sorry, I had to say that. No worry, Lisa. No worries. Sorry, I got a little animated. But anyway, JK, what you got?
Good afternoon. It's good to see you again, Dani.
Good to see you too. Appreciate you.
And you are correct. We do need people on all angles to fight the battle. But I know at my age and living through Jim Crow, I'm not getting out there marching or protesting.
Right.
It won't happen. But I
Let us white folks do it. We got it.
You better have it. Because it won't happen. Because I've seen too much in Jim Crow.
Baby.
I've seen people hang from trees. I've had a fire hose put on me.
Thank you.
I've been arrested. And it's not going to happen with me.
Right.
But something has to be done, and it needs to be done immediately.
Absolutely.
And I know people can sit back and they think things are not going to affect them. Well, let me tell you, it will.
Yeah, it will affect absolutely everyone. And people that don't believe it are really about to find out. The very first section that I talked about in this proposed document was rural communities. And a lot of rural communities are supporters of Trump. And they have no idea what is coming their way if these cuts actually happen.
Well, Dani, in the new tax bill, they're going to cut Medicaid, basically.
Right.
And I think a lot of those rural communities that we were talking about heavily depend upon Medicaid. I'm in Louisiana.
Yeah.
And I know that. I'm a blue dot in a red state.
Yeah.
And I know.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I'm from Northeast Tennessee, right? And so where I live, 70% of the population is on some sort of federal insurance, whether that's Medicare, Medicaid, or TRICARE. That's what they're on, and a great percentage are on Medicaid. And so I think there's a lot that people just don't realize, and that is why. Let me say this. That is why it is so necessary to not talk about Trump and Elon Musk and all of that, but to talk about these cuts, to tell specifically people what is being proposed, so that they understand what the impact is for them. Medicare Advantage is private though, right? Medicare Advantage is a private, actually that's where the problem comes from in rural communities with their reimbursement. It's Medicare Advantage programs that reimburse lowest. And so that's a struggle for hospitals. It's the private insurance, not the government insurance, right? But yeah, so this is the thing that is very important for people to understand. It is not about talking about the people. If you want to argue with them about Trump, you're not going to win. You have to talk about the cuts that are coming and the impact, the supplemental, and the impact of those cuts on their lives. Right? That's what you have to talk about.
Well, I live in Southeast Texas, and as a retired social worker, a lot of people in this area, they are on Medicaid.
Mm-hmm.
And as a matter of fact, there's a large, in at least 3 of the counties, there's a large amount of sexual families. And usually if they have 4 kids, 3 of them are probably developmentally delayed. All those programs will be cut. Yeah, so this is now they begin to worry about it because they're finding out as preparation for the court the cuts, several providers have started cutting back on their services. Yeah. And that's what they've said. Several hospitals have said there was big to do about it a while back. Appreciate you, John, where they were specifically talking about hospitals saying we're not going to take the advantage plans anymore. And some of them are saying because of the low reimbursement rate. So that's a thing. I want to just level set again so that people know what we're talking about. We started off and I was, Bonnie, I have no idea. So let me just say this. We started off and I played the video of RFK Jr. making the comments that he made yesterday about autism. It was full of disinformation, misinformation, inaccuracy, and bullshit. And so we started off just talking about that. And then that led into this, thanks, Julian, into this leaked document. It is a 64-page document of proposed pre-decisional proposed eliminations and cuts that are in the form of a quote unquote restructuring of HHS. Okay. And I started at the top of this document. It is 64 pages long. I am at page 22. I have discussed the cuts around the Ryan White HIV/AIDS program, which is just devastating. The cuts around maternal and child care health and child health programs, a bunch of different things, especially around things for LGBTQ plus people, as well as sickle cell demonstrations, a bunch of other things. I will post the link to the full document where you can download it in my link tree for everyone. Before I touch on this again, Deb, you wanted to add something?
Yeah. Hi, Dani.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. I live in Memphis, Tennessee, and I am a retired maternity nurse.
Mm-hmm.
And, the newborn testing, the newborn hearing screens, that stuff is like imperative.
Yes.
I mean, I have a friend whose kid was actually diagnosed with an illness through that hearing screen, and she would have died without that diagnosis.
And this is the thing that people do not understand is just how impactful these very small things are. And yes. And
I mean,
appreciate you, Farrah.
And the other thing is all of the stuff that is hitting on recovery.
Yes.
I am very active in recovery here in this city, and we're going to see a lot more people dying of overdoses. I mean, if we can't get hold of Narcan,
yes,
if we can't get hold of all of these things, it's just like that. That's like, oh my God.
Yes. And
You're reading that, I'm going, oh my God.
I don't want to go back and reread all the things I've already done because we still have so much to cover. But what I will tell you is the best thing to do is when you're looking at these different sections, go to the bottom of the very first table, and then there's a smaller table and it says AHA, which is the Administration for a Healthy America. And then it will say whatever program the eliminations fall under, and it will list everything that is being proposed to be eliminated. And this is the part, the place where I'm at now is a place where many of you all are concerned because it specifically is talking about workforce programs. Remember, under this restructuring, they are talking about a total of 20,000 people who would lose their jobs. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
one other thing I wanted to mention, Dani, I don't know if you heard about the XAI thing that Elon Musk is doing here in Memphis.
Nope.
Well, he's been trying to open it up, and he's of course putting this place in an area of Memphis that is like very, low income people, so that he wasn't going to hear anything about it. And we are going to a thing today to fight about it, and hopefully we will be able to prevent him from getting it running. He would be polluting our area, this area of the state, of the city, like unbelievable. I mean, and Memphis gets hit with this stuff all the time, but he's going to open up this huge thing, and it's going to take over like so much of Memphis, and it's going to pollute so many places in Memphis, and people are going to get sick. And so I'm going to that today. I'm getting into my activism.
Good. I love that. I love that. So I wish that everyone that they're souring on the mask cuts. Good. They need to sour on the mask cuts. So people were asking, what is the SAI that he's trying to do? SAI that he's trying to get done?
Well, he's making this big thing where he's going to have to use our water. He's going to have to use our electricity. He's already went through all the stuff he had to do to get okayed through MLTNW, which is our.
I got it. So this is it. So he wants to build the quote unquote the world's largest supercomputer.
You got it.
This is what it is. It's called XAI. That's what it is. XAI. And let me just tell you, everybody knows that AI is using a tremendous amount of our resources. There are huge concerns because what it takes to cool these places down, it's huge. Right. It's a lot. Right. And so there are a lot of environmental concerns about the use of AI. So this is Elon Musk. It's XAI. Yep, data mines. And this is what he says. He says that he wants it to be. It's in a former Electrolux plant, and it aims to house, quote unquote, the world's largest supercomputer. I have no idea, Aline. Hold on. And hold on. I'm pulling up stuff as we talk.
The protest today is at Fairleigh High School at 5 p.m. in case anybody's interested.
Okay, so I like this. Okay, and there's a great article on NPR too. So, of course, I pulled up some pro shit, negative shit, and then NPR, which is going to be middle of the road, right? So we'll start with NPR. And it says the Regional Power Authority in Memphis approved a request for enough energy to power a small city. Elon Musk's AI company will use it for a massive supercomputer. The project was a surprise to many. So apparently all of this was done kind of behind the scenes. People did not know that it was happening.
Nobody knew it.
Yes.
Nobody knew it. It was being built before any of us knew about it.
Yep. And so, so NPR wrote this article last November, and they reached out to the EPA about it. And it said that it was reviewing concerns raised about the air quality and is working with the health department to ensure compliance with regulations. It needs enough electricity to power 100,000 homes. Mm-hmm. Much of that electricity comes from burning fossil fuels, right? And it is in a oh my God, apparently it's in a historically Black neighborhood around that area. Yeah, I'm not surprised. And shit. Yeah. So there are a lot of concerns. Now, here's what this is what I automatically thought, right? It's AI, LM, it's AI. But let me just say this. When you think about this, when you think about this and the fact that the EPA is reviewing the concerns and they are responsible for ensuring that they meet regulations, and Musk is now in there with them, and we already know that it's an oil exec heading the EPA, I have literally no trust or faith at all that any of that is going to happen.
Yeah.
None. Moms Clean Air Force is an online organization. This was written February of this year. And it says South Memphis's Boxtown community has been fighting Elon Musk's enormous artificial intelligence supercomputer facility for over 6 months. The project, which the world's richest man set up at warp speed in about in less than 120 days, depending on the brag, right? Apparently he's bragged at different things. And he says, he needed the enormous facility, among other reasons, to power up to release Grok 3, which he claims will be the most powerful AI model, quote unquote, in the world. Dear God, he sounds like Trump. All of this lofty language ignores his unwitting new neighbors. Oh, wow. So the facility started in June with no warning. Apparently, there are dangerous fumes that the community is very worried about, very concerned about. Locals say that they weren't aware of the multi-billion-dollar deal before it went ahead. So, Deb, have you talked to Justin Jones yet?
I have not.
Methane gas.
I have not. I found out this information about the high school on another TikTok announcement. I mean, I knew about the whole plant being constructed and everything, but I was not aware of, what was going on with this. And
yeah, it's Pearson's district.
That's why I'm going.
Yeah, it's the other Justin. Sorry. It's the other Justin. Justin Pearson is Memphis. So yeah, Jones is Nashville. So I would automatically, because let me tell you what it says. It is a majority Black population that is already home to an oil refinery, a steel mill, and chemical plants. Residents have high rates of asthma, lower life expectancy, and 4 times the national rate of cancer.
Yep.
It says there are code orange. Yeah, it says there are code orange warnings for poor air quality, as well as power and internet outages are not infrequent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, we have power outages. All of and I'm in East Memphis. We have power outages all the time, which makes me wonder, how is he going to take all of this electricity?
It will require about 1 million gallons of water a day to run and keep the computers from overheating.
Yeah, and I'm afraid that he's going to be messing with our water system too.
Yeah, it says it could rapidly dry up the local well field that provides drinking water to residents and potentially contaminate it. According to, there's a nonprofit, Protect Our Aquifer.
Yes.
And that's who's making that claim. Holy shit. Yeah, I would definitely reach out to Pearson. This is his district. He needs to be doing something. I would expect him to be saying something. So anyway,
Yeah, I will.
okay, yeah. Well, go get into some good trouble today. Stay safe while you're out there, though.
I will.
Pearson's leading the fight. Thank you, Rachel. That's great to know. Love that.
Yay.
Yay.
It's been great talking to you, Dani.
Yeah, you too. Appreciate you, Deb.
All right.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, honey.
All right. So, holy jeez.
I just wanted to say everything she was saying. Do you think? I mean, I know this is a bit out there, but all the planes crashing and everything. Do you think all this stuff is interfering with planes?
I have no idea. I won't even speculate on that because I'm not qualified to speculate on it, right?
It makes sense a little bit, like.
Yeah. So regarding the represented topics, what crucial aspects of autism research did you overlook? So Edna, I don't know. We were talking specifically about RFK's comments yesterday regarding autism. That's what we were specifically talking about. So good God. Okay. So there's so many of you guys at this point. Give me just a second, folks. Just a second, because I don't want to. Okay, so give me just a second and I will I want to go back to the document and then I'll bring you some more of you guys up on the panel. Okay, so give me just a second. So this one is specifically for the Administration for a Healthy America's Health Workforce Program eliminations. So scholarships for disadvantaged students is a planned elimination. Faculty loan repayment, also a planned elimination. Health careers opportunity programs, area health education centers, geriatric programs, mental and behavioral health education and training, behavioral health workforce education and training, public health workforce development, primary care training and enhancement, training in oral health, advanced education nursing, nurse practitioner optional fellowship program, nursing workforce diversity, nursing education practice and retention, nurse faculty loan program, not repayment, but nurse faculty loan program, medical school education. Those are the health workforce program proposed eliminations.
Can I speak on this?
Yep.
It's the only reason I joined was actually for this subject. I am 44. I have a son that is 19 with autism. And I can tell you, I went through hell all his life. I mean,
Mila,
without the services that HHS or other private companies provided, I don't know how I would have made it.
Yeah.
I mean, he was physical. He was, everything. And I mean, in turn, I went to school. I got educated. I got a master's degree to understand this better. However, at the time, I was, like any other parent, just alone and trying to figure it out. And without these services, I can tell you that this is not going to end well.
Yeah.
Parents need assistance. I mean, for our mental health, but also to better our children.
Yeah.
That are born with autism. And let me tell you, he's 19 years old now, and he will have a date, and he will have a future. And that motherfucker better never, ever say that shit about autistic people ever again.
Yeah.
That fucked me up so bad.
Agreed.
Because I pray for the day he gets a date, and he's looking at life more beautifully. He's surviving. He's doing what he needs to do.
Yeah.
And he's a beautiful person.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So for him to say that about our children.
Yeah.
It really fucked me up.
Yeah. It made me furiously angry. Because I do have neurodivergence in my family, people on the spectrum. It's evil, and it's
evil.
yeah.
He's not even a doctor to be saying those things about our children.
Right.
Like, he's just saying they're pieces of shit. No, my son is smarter than you 10 times, maybe 100 times smarter than you.
Yes.
Without college yet.
Right.
He's 16, and he could freaking outsmart you in a debate, and easily. He's
Yes.
so intelligent. And I just hate that these people come in and try to say this about our children, and then they want to take the services away that help them get to where they are now.
Yes.
And I feel so empathetic for the mothers that are, in this
in
now
it.
where their children are young.
Yeah.
While their children are young, because I've already been through it, and it's so hard. But I can tell you, mamas, if you're listening to me, you will get through it.
Mm-hmm.
Just, reach out.
Yeah. I think Tim Waltz will definitely be responding as well. The person who said that, I think so. I think that it's important that, so what I think would be extremely effective is having mothers like yourself recording, doing stitches with his video and responding to him, writing letters to the editor in your local paper, responding to him. Those are important, because here's what that is. That puts it makes it personal. It makes it personal. And when you do, it is absolutely okay to let all of your authentic emotions, just like you did just now, show in the video. Those are the things that are important. I would be contacting my local news organizations, contacting, like, all of the things, because this is how you touch people in your local community. This is how, because we have to do that, right, Butterfly Ghost, the vulnerability. So for all of the moms and the aunties and the dads and the brothers and the sisters and all of you all that are out there, this needs to be the thing, right? Where there's a ton of videos that are going out where people are addressing his misinformation, his intentional disinformation that he's giving to people, and the harm that it can potentially cause. You all have heard me talk a bajillion times about Bella's teacher. She's incredible. Like, before the beginning of the school year, she went to Bella's classroom and picked out the best desk for her in the room, right? Like, her IEP is just incredible, right? Her support, the accommodations that she gets, all of those things are just absolutely amazing. And I cannot think of what it would be like if we didn't have those things. You know what I mean? And I don't think that people get it. Yeah.
Becca, my daughter's son is autistic, and I would love for you to DM, to private message me or whatever you do on TikTok, and maybe you can link up with her. He's 4 years old. And for him to say that there's some other reason for it, research proves that it is genetic. My husband is Asperger's. He's an attorney. He paid a lot of taxes. My 3 children are all Asperger's. So, and my grandson is Asperger's. So you can't tell me. I mean, I knew research showed it because I'm an LPC, and of course I see autistic people all the time, particularly Asperger's, because they're so high functioning and their intellect is so high that I know. So I would love for you. We went to a symposium this weekend on autism. It was it's a private group that had a symposium, and it was wonderful. and it gave her hope, you know, to be able
There
to do
is-
the things
there
that
is
she
so
needs
much
to do.
hope. And let me tell you, the reason why he has these staggering numbers, which I don't even believe are right, it's because diagnosed people, it's because it's come with time, right?
Mm-hmm.
The more we learn, the more it's diagnosed.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yep. 100%. Yes.
But yes, if you would like, I could absolutely
So
give some inspiration because I've been there, done it.
love that. Love that for you all. Love the connection and the networking. I want to say, take a deep breath as I pick back up. I'm on page 23. And then I'm going to bring some more people up on the panel. So just hold tight. And because this first sentence that I'm about to utter out of my mouth is going to make you say, what the fuck? As if we haven't said that enough today, right? So here is, this is under the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration. And here's what it says. The budget, remember that these are proposed, okay? Proposed. The budget eliminates FDA's direct role in routine inspections of food facilities. What? What? The budget eliminates FDA's direct role in routine inspections of food facilities. The FDA will expand the current state contracts for routine food facility inspections program to cover 100% of all routine foods. I don't know what routine foods are. The budget will include short and long-term administrative actions to strengthen and streamline FDA's regulatory oversight of food programs, so chemicals and other additives in food and food packaging can be expeditiously removed from our food supply. What? Okay. Oh, listen at this. The budget provides sufficient budget authority levels to meet statutory requirements necessary for FDA to collect medical product user fees in support of its pre-market review activities. Right. We're going to support what we need to do to collect fees. Let's do that. Right. This is why everybody needs to be gardening. Wow. Oh, I'm not ready for this one. Give me a second. Okay. Wow. Okay. The budget for, I'm sorry, Indian Health Service, IHS, which is critical. The budget will rescind $897 million of the fiscal year 2026 advance appropriation that was given. They are going to rescind $735 million from the services account and $162 million from facilities.
Are you talking about the ICWA Act?
No, I'm talking about Indian Health Service, right?
Yes. Indian Child Welfare Act.
Yeah, but this is not it. So this is under, so they have, there's different departments. So this is specifically under the advance appropriation. Yes, Native American. And
Yes.
so there was an advance appropriation that was given, okay? And they are going to rescind almost $1 billion.
Oh, great.
Yep, from their services. And they will not get an advance appropriation for fiscal year 2027.
Well, that's what I was doing in my past job. I was working for CFS, recruiting foster homes. I was recruiting Native American foster families to adopt Native American children to keep, the culture alive.
Yeah.
That's what ICWA stands for. The Indian Child Welfare Act, by the way, if anybody's wondering.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal because, people are going extinct.
So across the services account, from which they are going to take $735 million from the services account, there is no funding for new grants, scholarships, or loan repayment recipients, only continuations. It includes not awarding any joint venture construction project from traditional and long-term care notices of funding announcements. Any funding from the advanced appropriation that was expected to go to preventative services and other eliminated activities should be redirected to the clinical services PPA. New tribes are funded at $6 million. Programmatic funding, so program funding, is eliminated for sanitation facilities construction in fiscal year 2026. IHS has Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act balances available through fiscal year 2026 for these activities. There are no funds to begin construction of new facilities projects, and only funding to continue progress on facility construction projects that have already started. So y'all know that fiscal year 2026 would start in July of this year, most likely, or October, and run through, for fuck's sake. Wow. I don't like these people at all. Not even a little bit. I don't like them. They're just fucking horrible people. Are y'all ready to talk about CDC? Let's do it. Let's dive in. So, the budget reforms the CDC to refocus on emerging and infectious disease surveillance, outbreak investigations, preparedness and response, and maintaining the nation's public health infrastructure. The budget includes funding to support NSC's biothreat radar detection system. The budget also discontinues funding for the emerging infectious disease and preventing chronic disease monthly peer-reviewed journals. So we don't need peer-reviewed journals anymore. What? What do you mean? What do you mean that we do not want peer-reviewed journals for emerging infectious diseases and preventing chronic disease? What? Thanks, Effin. Um, um, geez, oh Pete. Um, I'm going to the bottom. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead, Becca.
Are you actually surprised?
No, no, it's not that I'm surprised. It's not that I'm surprised.
You're trying to put the information out there.
Yeah, and so here's the thing. I don't have any expectation of this. So I'm going to say it again so that people who are just joining understand. So what I'm reading is the leaked 64-page proposed restructuring of HHS. Okay. The Trump administration put out a press release on March the 27th that they were going to restructure HHS, that it would mean a total loss of jobs of about 20,000 jobs, federal jobs, and it was supposed to save a bunch of money. What I'm reading right now is their proposed budget cuts and the programs that they intend to eliminate. I want to say again, these are pre-decision and they have not been confirmed yet, although they talk like they are in this document, but it says pre-decision on it.
I know. I guess I still have the mindset of I've seen this coming. I mean, when he first made fun of a disabled reporter, I won't forget that. I mean, he knew he was going to do this term because he would not have any checks and balances. To be voted in again.
So I just I don't use the word hate a lot, hardly ever, but that is literally what I'm feeling at this moment in time when I read the next few things. The budget eliminates funding for the Ending the HIV Epidemic Initiative and CDC domestic HIV/AIDS prevention and surveillance activities.
Oh my God.
The budget, yeah, they've already announced that they propose to cut the Ryan White program. The budget discontinues funding for the Lyme disease, prion disease, chronic fatigue syndrome, and the harmful algal bloom programs to prioritize funding for core infectious disease and surveillance activities, although it doesn't list what those are. The budget eliminates the National Center for Chronic Disease Prevention and Health Promotion and all of the funding for programs in this center. So the Center for Chronic Disease Prevention and Health Promotion, all eliminated. The budget eliminates the Global Health Center. For everything, Global Health Center, bye. The department has discretion to determine where to move the continuing global disease detection and other programs, PPA, within CDC. Funding for all other GHC programs is discontinued. The budget eliminates CDC's Office of Readiness and Response.
But this has to go to Congress, right?
No.
It's already happened?
No, this isn't congressional funding. This is restructuring of funding that already exists. So once Congress passes the funding, they have the ability to restructure. As long as they're still calling it the same department, they can determine what they are and aren't keeping.
So they can do this all on their own without people saying.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay, that's where I'm sorry. Okay, I thought it was something that had to be passed.
No, ma'am.
Veteran Project 2025.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so they're creating a new center So instead of the CDC's Office of Readiness and Response, now there's going to be a Center for Preparedness and Response, whatever the fuck that means. They're moving the following programs from the Administration for Strategic Preparedness and Response to this new center. They are consolidating preparedness and emergency operations, policy and planning and operations. They're saying, please provide an allocation of funding across the aforementioned programs and an updated estimate for salaries and expenses for under this program by April 15th. Well, so they should already have that, right? The budget directs the Strategic National Stockpile to sell surplus supplies consistent with the authority provided in the Prevent Pandemics Act. So they want us to sell whatever surplus supplies we have from the Prevent Pandemics Act. Please provide an estimate for anticipated warehousing and disposal costs for 2025 and 2026. The budget eliminates the Hospital Preparedness Program Cooperative Agreement. The budget eliminates the Medical Reserve Corps. The budget eliminates HCOR. I need to double check and make sure that Congress doesn't have to approve this shit. The budget includes, so maybe it does. Maybe Congress has to approve this shit. I don't know. Let me just find out to be sure. So don't quote me because, oh my God.
But even if they do, we know that they will, because what is Congress made up of?
Well, but we will see because I'm not sure. So some of the GOP folks are sick of these cuts.
Donna, we have to just pray that some of these Congress members turn their leaf over and stop being intimidated by the orange buffoon.
Yeah. So for me, I hate these folks. Oh my God. They are, it says, under the National Institutes of Health. They're not getting rid of CDC well, kind of, but it's under a different program. So hold on. And I'm going to put this in here so y'all can read it yourselves, but this is under the National Institutes of Health. Okay. The budget eliminates the National Institutes for Nursing Research, the National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health, the Fogarty International Center, and the National Institute on Minority Health and Health Disparities.
Of course. Of course. I know. I am white. My son is Hispanic. His father was deported, and we are feeling. My son and I, as his mother, are feeling these things. Being a brown person, no, I mean, it's not the same as being African American at all. However, I can at least empathize with your emotions right now.
What in the absolute fuck? So now we're at CMS, folks. Now we are at CMS, Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. That is CMS. And girls, you okay?
We should be working toward universal health care in this country instead of tearing down every social network that we have. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. We should have already had it.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I think, Donna, we would have had a chance with Kamala.
Oh, I think so too. Absolutely. Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
So
I'm still one of those, what do you call it? Wishy-washers. I don't believe the votes were were true.
I'm with you on that.
I believe Kamala won, but you know what? She didn't she didn't protest it because she didn't want to look like him, a simpleton.
So they are eliminating the following CMS activities. Number 1, health equity. Number 2, NMEP, targeted outreach and enrollment. And then number 3, discretionary IRA implementation funding. That's a huge deal. That's a big deal. The ACL, which is aging programs, they are shifting their aging program to CMS. They're eliminating several programs within ACL, right? But allowing states to use grant funding they receive to provide or invest in those services if they want to. Programs eliminated. On the ACL aging programs that are eliminated: preventative health services, elder falls prevention, lifespan respite care, long-term care ombudsman, chronic disease self-management education, elder rights support activities, elder justice / adult protective services. The discretionary funding eliminated for aging and disability resource centers, state health insurance assistance programs. Stop, Titan. My cat's trying to walk on this. And now the 340B pricing program is shifting from HRSA over to CMS. So they will absorb the 340B pricing program. It's absolutely nuts. I'm sorry, because I'm reading as I go. All the rural shit I already told you all about.
I was just wondering if
earlier,
did you read anything about Social Security?
No, because no. For fuck's sake. Agency RIF, reduction in force and reorganization plans, and DOGE coordination. We appreciate the agency's work in compiling a plan to optimize its workforce. Don't you love the wording? We look forward to working with you to gather more granular data for ACF to ensure. Lisa just sent me something on congressional control of agencies. I can't access it just yet, but give me a second. Stacy has an update. Maybe this has to be approved by Congress. I don't see Stacy's not requested up. So let me just, yeah, Congress has to pass it. So thank you. That's what I was asking. Thank dear God. But here's my thing. I think all that Congress has to pass, though, is the budget. I don't think that Congress has to determine what they do with that budget. Y'all follow me?
Mm-hmm.
They can restructure it. All Congress has to pass is the money.
Right. I think so too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Stace, they said your voice is fucked. So
my voice is completely fucked.
Okay, girl, let's not be talking. So Congress has to approve the budget. Okay, go.
Listen closely. It says, while the administration can propose changes, including budget cuts and restructuring, Congress has the power to approve or reject those proposals. HHS restructuring proposal, especially when it involves budget changes, ultimately needs to be passed by Congress.
Right. But my concern is that it is just the budget, not where the money's going. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it says, I asked it, does the HHS restructuring proposal need to be passed by Congress? And it said yes.
the HHS
Her
restructuring
voice is jacked
proposal,
up.
especially when it involves budget changes, ultimately needs to be passed by Congress.
Yeah,
So
the budget
changes-
does. The budget does, but not what they're using it for. That's my thing, you guys. They have once Congress passes the budget, they can allocate it however they want. And that's my thing. They're all telling you lemon and honey girl and stop talking. Stop talking. Yeah, all they're passing is the money portion. The allocation they can do however they want. And that's the part that's scary.
Or they cannot pass it if
Yeah, and they can also, because they have to tell Congress what they want to use it for. But at the end of the day, that will be the deal. So absolutely contact your Congress folks, right? Because we don't want this to happen.
Wait. I just see something. It says the recent HHS restructuring proposal, which includes cuts and consolidations of divisions, will need congressional approval to be a reality.
Yes, but it's just but here's my thing. Read it again.
The recent HHS restructuring proposals, that's what we were reading.
Okay. Yep.
Those proposals.
Yep.
Which include cuts and consolidations.
But listen at this. The proposal has to be approved. It just includes cuts and restructuring. It's the budget, but it's not the allocations. The executive branch moves those things around.
the Congress can also move things around and make a deal.
So this is my thing, right? And so this is my thing. Yes, Congress has to approve the budget, and they're going to tell Congress this is what the budget is for, right? And Congress can say, well, no, we want to keep this or keep that, but there's no guarantee that they will. And at the end of the day, they can just simply rename something. You know what I mean? Like, yes, baby. Okay, babe. Yeah. Are you feeling okay, Mila? Yeah. So that's my thing. I will get clarity, and I can literally pick up the phone when I'm done with this, and because I'm on my phone, and get 100% clarity. But yeah, I think all they have to do is pass the budget, y'all.
I think so too. I'm pretty sure that's
Okay, so hold
I'm
on.
positive.
They can pass it, but they can also dispute it.
All right, so it's telling me now the restructuring of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, particularly its allocation of budget and resources, generally does not require explicit congressional approval, especially when implemented through an executive order. While Congress appropriates funding for the HHS operational division, the HHS secretary has significant control over the allocation of resources within staff division. However, significant changes that impact federal program or require new funding may need congressional approval through legislation or budget processes.
And see, that's what they're doing. They're not requiring new funding. And that's
Right.
how they're getting around this.
They're not there. It's not more money. It's not new funding. It's not whatever.
So that's how they're going to get around it, Stacey. Is see, they're not asking for more money. They're taking some money and then they're putting it at other places that don't help.
How is that not governed? I mean, that's like going and collecting door to door for the MS Foundation and not giving it to the MS Foundation. Like, that's a crime, even for a middle schooler.
Yeah, listen, so listen, it says passback levels reflect the reforms necessary to enable agencies to fulfill their statutory responsibilities in the most cost-effective manner possible. Many difficult decisions were necessary to reach the funding level provided in this passback. So this is OMB looks forward to working with you. So this came from Russell Vaught, y'all. This came from Russell's ass. And this, as we finalize the fiscal year 2026 president's budget request. I'm just,
This that bullshit.
yes, that bullshit.
This that bullshit.
So Congress has to approve the budget just like it does. Yes, this is Russell from Heritage Foundation. Russell was over OMB the first damn administration.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is Russell. He was there the first term. And he's the Heritage Foundation, Russell. But I need to get to this other part just so we can understand this other piece of it. Because holy fuck. Give me a second, y'all. Jesus. Ugh.
This is when we need an Independence Day situation hovering over the White House. Just start from scratch.
So, oh my God. I'm putting it in my link tree as soon as I'm done. Holy fuck. Okay. Fuck y'all.
This is why aliens won't visit us.
Reintroduce common sense and American values into programs that serve youth. Are you ready? The budget will scrub ACF programs of all grants and contracts that promote AB and high-risk sexual behavior, inflict radical gender ideology on already vulnerable children, and facilitate discriminatory practices in service delivery. This message should be reflected in budget materials. OMB is tracking the following examples specifically. Request ACF and HHS provide more examples as soon as possible. They are tracking, it says the budget ends federal dollars for facilitating ABs for migrant children and eliminates grants to woke NGOs that promote AB and teach kids how to engage in high-risk sexual behavior in the personal responsibility education program. In other words, we're not going to tell them about birth control. We're not going to tell them about birth control, y'all, because why the fuck would we want children to know about birth control? So no more federal grants.
19-year-old son that's with autism.
Mm-hmm.
He's now, I told you I went through hell. Now he's in a facility. It's not a facility. It's like a group home. He lives very happy group home.
Wait, listen to this. All non-citizens, including lawful permanent residents, are now going to be ineligible for public benefit programs.
Oh my God. But they're lawful. Is that the big thing?
It literally says, consistent with the America First policy of this administration, the budget ends the dependence of immigrants on hard-earned taxpayer resources by making all non-citizens, including lawful permanent residents, ineligible for public benefit programs.
So is that green card holders?
Yeah, lawful permanent residents.
Yeah, my friend's been here for 20 years on a green card.
And they have additional details coming.
A shit ton of them.
So they are going, budget materials should highlight efforts to incentivize work under development through the PCC, building a universal work requirement for able-bodied adults receiving welfare and other federal benefits.
Who determines who's able? Who determines the definition of able-bodied?
Exactly.
I don't.
I mean, I think people could look at you, Annie, and say she's able-bodied.
Right. They don't.
Without knowing.
No.
You don't out there in them fields, like them cucumbers. Something wrong with you. Like, that's so arbitrary.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. That's insane. That's insane. I don't know how old you are, Annie, but I know I can't do it.
This budget does not fund Head Start.
Of course it doesn't. They've been trying to get rid of that.
HHS should work with OMB to ensure to the extent allowable fiscal year 2025 funds are made available to close out the program. This elimination is consistent with the administration's goal of returning education to the states and increasing parental choice. The federal government should not be in the business of mandating curriculum, locations, and performance standards of any form of education, which they don't already by just so that you all know they don't.
It's unfortunately correct. Jan full text 74. What are you talking about?
What?
Jan full text.
Oh, said that's unfortunately correct. I don't know. Hold on, y'all.
I knew they were going after Head Start.
Yep, I knew that too.
They should call this the Doomsday Document.
Yeah, exactly, Stacy. That's what they should call it. And JK, you're right. I taught for 10 years, and I remember they were constantly, anytime that a Republican was in office, they were always trying to get rid of Head Start. That was one of the things that they wanted to cut.
Okay, so GDM is the General Departmental Management. Okay. General Departmental Management. The eliminated programs are Kidney X, Lyme X, the Children's Interagency Coordination Council, the Stillbirth Task Force, Discretionary Sexual Risk Avoidance Program, the Embryo Adoption Awareness Program, and Food as Medicine. I'm almost done. So now there's this Assistant Secretary for Enforcement. So the office is below MHA OCR Vaccine Injury Compensation Program, which used to be under HRSA, Covered Countermeasures Injury Compensation Program. The Office for Human Research Protections and the Office of Research Integrity are all going to be, it's not going to lift the order to facilitate his return. The appellate court just denied the Trump administration. That just came over my thing.
Say it again?
I just got a little notification that said the appellate court said that they will not lift the order to facilitate Garcia's return. So the appellate court did not lift the order, so they still have to do it. I'm seeing if there's anything else that I need to tell you all. Eliminated programs under the Office of Strategy are digital healthcare research, patient-centered outcomes research. Oh, so we shouldn't be focused on the patient-centered outcomes research. Nah, why do that? The ACL University Centers for Excellence in Developmental Disabilities, the ACL National Institute of Disability Independent Living and Rehabilitation Research, all eliminated. So Consumer Product Safety Commission, the budget eliminates the Consumer Product Safety Commission and reduces funding for their administrative and support functions that can be carried out by the office of the secretary, whatever. So just fuck people pretty much. Oh, hold on. I need to go back to the office of the secretary for just a second because there's a part in here that I missed. The office of the secretary. Is that you? Sorry, y'all. Give me 1 second. Oh my God. There's one that I really need to get to. Are you calling me, child? Oh, yes, baby. I got you. I got you. Okay, I will. Give me 1 second, babe. Okay. Hold on, y'all. I need to find this office of the secretary because there's something specific under it that I need to see if it's cut. Because it says, for me to see that section specifically about this. You really need a rage room. I got it. Yes, Chloe, I agree. I agree 100%. So hold on. Office of the Secretary. Please let me find it. Okay, got it. Office of the Secretary. I need to look specifically. Okay, that's not there. Okay, it's gonna be. Give me 1 second, guys. That's not what I wanted, even though that's another elimination. That's not what I wanted. Assistant Secretary for Enforcement, Assistant Secretary for Innovation, Assistant Secretary for Enforcement. Okay, so they kept it. I don't know what the budget looks like, but so the Office of Civil Rights has been consolidated under the Assistant Secretary for Enforcement. It's not its own thing anymore. Hey, Veronica. Yep. So has that. It's also been, so the Office of Medicare Hearings and Appeals and the Departmental Appeals Board has also been consolidated under the Assistant Secretary for Enforcement. Oh, OIG eliminates $1.5 million transfer from FDA and the $5 million transfer from NIH. So they cut $6.5 million from OIG, from the Office of the Inspector General. And they want everything sent to OMB. Yeah, that's the gist of it. That's the majority of it, guys. That's the majority. So I've already downloaded it. I will give you the link to where I downloaded it from. Yes. Go for it. So here's what I will say is, without hesitation, everyone should be everyone should be contacting their Congress people. Every single person should be contacting their congressional people. I cannot say that enough. The cuts to rural communities, minority communities, marginalized communities are significant and unimaginable. So I'm going to bring up some folks. Give me 1 second while I do. Stacy D, I will drop you since you can't talk, my love.
Thank you.
Yep. Yep, I got you. Give me a second, folks, till I get folks in here real quick. What the fuck are you talking about? Jack 2022. What are you talking about? Where's the proof of what exactly? Yeah, I know, Junito. We talked about that earlier. I have one more space. Sorry, guys. Okay. So Donna Henderson and JK West. Do you guys have anything else before I drop you down and bring anybody else?
No, honey, you can drop me down. It was good being on your panel.
Yeah, you too. Appreciate you.
Just one more thing. My last job before retirement, I was over community group homes.
Mm-hmm.
And, from maybe Reagan, once he closed out the institutions, they put them in community and home-based programs in the community. So now those programs are going away based on everything that you did.
If they get it passed, it is now the top document in my link tree. Once you read the fact that this document has been verified, you can just click it and download the 64-page document. What's up, Carter?
You can go ahead and drop me, Dani.
I appreciate you, JK.
All right.
All right. So, I have no idea what order I brought anybody up because once I click the names, it just puts you in a box. So I will start with, oh my God, why is it doing this? So, Angie Vargas, you're at the top. Reginald, you're teacupping. So, I'm probably going to drop you and bring somebody else up if you don't come back.
Why am I in the top?
I don't know. It said you requested to come up on the panel. Did you not?
No.
I got you.
I'm sorry.
No worries. I got you. Good afternoon, Reginald. What you got? I'm okay, DeBoss. I'm wrapping up. Reginald.
All right,
Okay, you didn't request to come up on the panel? Nope. Okay, dropping you down. So there has been one confirmed fatality from the mass pew pew at FSU. One confirmed according to the news alert I just received. Okay, folks, these are my last three folks that I'm bringing up. And then I'm going to shut it down because the grins are here and I got to figure out dinner and all the things. Okay. So, tappers are tapping their way to the panel and I appreciate the tapping tremendously. I really do. City Girl, what you got for me? I'm thinking it was an accident. Donna Ski, you are up. Donna Ski, did you mean to request up, love? Probably not, because she's not saying nothing. Nope. All right. Shanna. Is it Shanna or Shauna?
Shayna.
Shayna. Gotcha.
So I would talk about RFK and what a fool he is and spreading crap about autism.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, seriously, that's gonna just start a wide world panic. Being a nurse of 30 years and a mother of an autistic child and working in the special needs community. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
we need to get our facts straight. People need to go to credible sources to get information. I'm a nurse advocate or a autism advocate, and I fight every day for parents in the school system to get services. But it's RFK is doing such a disservice.
Yeah.
He's talking about there's never going to be a cure. It's not something you cure.
It is not something that you cure.
No, it's a spectrum. Okay, circle, and it's neurodivergent. So everybody presents differently, and we're seeing more prevalence in females now than males because we know what to look for because females present differently than males.
Right.
And the saying it's environmental. No, it is genetic. You can't cure Down syndrome. That's genetic. You cannot cure, to say it's environmental. No. And then he's talking about the vaccines, which was disproved many, many, many years ago.
Yeah.
It's going to make, people, not get vaccinated, and stuff. And it's like, okay, well, we're already seeing a rise in measles. Okay,
Yes.
and that's pretty much eradicated.
Yes.
There's a reason why people do not understand. There's a reason why there are so many shots at a young age. It's because we have found cures, okay, for a lot of these diseases. And the reason why you have to have 2 and 3 is because your body has to build up immunity, okay, to the medication. I mean, those of us who are Gen Xers, okay, we all
That's me.
had the chicken pox. We all had the chicken pox. And guess what now we get to suffer from?
Shingles.
Yep. And guess what? After us, they came out with the vaccine, and stuff. If you don't want to get immunized, do not use modern medicine. Okay? Don't use it. Don't go in the hospital. Please don't. Because obviously we are trying to help you. Okay? But RFK to spread miscommunication. I mean, there's already so much miscommunication out there regarding autism, and the services are getting cut, and parents not knowing what to do. It's very frustrating.
100%.
And, we all rely on certain services, and it's not going to be there.
Right.
And these kids grow up to be adults, and then they have to go out into society. So now what?
Yeah, I like I said at the top of this broadcast, I believe that RFK should be held responsible if parents don't take actions that could help their children, and those children end up suffering because of it. I think just like anybody else, if you yell fire in a movie theater and you can be held responsible, I think he should as well, because his words as the the Secretary of Health and Human Services, it carries a lot of weight, and people will think that he knows what he's talking about when he so clearly does not. And just to make your point, while there's over 500 measles cases in Texas, there are over 712 in the United States. And there are 24 states, nearly half of the states in the country, that have at least one confirmed measles diagnosis.
Yes.
Yeah.
And but there's a reason why we have the MMR vaccine.
Yep.
And why it's available. I mean, for those that don't believe in vaccinations or it causes certain things, how's that Iron Lung working out for you?
Right.
As I always say, how's that? Must be nice that your parents believed in it, because obviously.
Yep. So right now, New Mexico has 56 reported cases. Tennessee has 4 or 5. I think it's Ohio has like 21-ish. Yeah.
And I'd like to see the data on the fact that if these, because as we all know, the rise of the illegal immigrants coming across the border, they do not follow the same practice as we do here in the United States regarding immunization. So therefore, I would like to see a study or somebody show up saying, this rise? Is it because of the rise?
Here's my thing about that is I don't think there's any correlation between immigrants and the rise of measles cases. If that were the case, we would have seen this significantly before now. The reality is that the increase in measles cases is specifically from people becoming more and more distrusting of medicine, right? So
and what happens when they very first get sick though? Then they run to the ER. It's like, but you want to believe that you can't have it both ways,
Well, but here's the thing. So Shanna, if that were the case, by your theory, then we would see a bunch of immigrants with measles, but we don't.
No, we don't.
So that means since we don't see a bunch of immigrants with measles, then it's clearly not them bringing measles to us.
True. Well,
right. So let's don't blame. Here's my thing. Let's don't blame not anything else on immigrants. Dear God, immigrants did not steal our houses, our jobs, our wives, our health care. Immigrants have not done shit. And it irritates me when people say things like that, because there are literally thousands and thousands and thousands of immigrants right now that are suffering because they are being blamed for every damn thing in this country, and they haven't done anything except come here, work, and pay taxes for programs they can't get.
No, I would just think I'd like to see a study.
But why? If there's no immigrants with measles, why do you need a study?
You're saying how do you know that there's no immigrants?
Have any of these cases been immigrants?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Do you think that we would know if they were?
I would think that the public health would have to put it out.
I would think that we would know if they were. Considering the fact that they blamed eating cats and dogs on immigrants and that shit wasn't happening, I think we would know if we were, because they would love to do that.
I mean, like I said, I'm just asking to see a correlation.
But there's not a correlation.
But we don't know that.
But why would you think that there is a correlation? Why do you think that they don't give vaccinations for Shanna? I'm asking you a clear question. What I want to know is how you know that they don't vaccinate for measles.
Because I used to work in public health.
But so you saw something. Hold on.
So yes, I and the fact that all of a sudden now we're seeing a rise. Well, what is causing the rise?
What is causing? So first of all, let me just tell you that Mexico vaccinates for measles. They have a national immunization program that includes.
Mexico, but what about Venezuela? But what about Chile?
Well, for fuck's sake. I got you.
That's what I'm saying.
No, you're not saying. And we're gonna do it, because I can promise you there's absolutely nothing that you've seen in public health that says that they don't. Because guess what? So does Venezuela. They have a national immunization program that includes measles, mumps, and rubella, which is MMR. They get it between the ages of 12 and 18 months, just like we. They eliminated measles in Venezuela. Did you know that? Venezuela doesn't have measles.
And we didn't have measles. So like I said.
Because we have people in offices now that are blaming vaccines for autism. So therefore people aren't getting vaccines, which is why we have measles and they don't. It is the anti-vaxxers.
Okay. I'm just, like I said.
No, what you're doing, hold on.
Tell me what I'm doing.
No, I am going to, because you're on my panel. And I will tell you what you're doing, because what you are doing is trying to link something to a group of people that it has absolutely nothing to do with.
No, I never said that. All I said
Because Chile actually vaccinates.
I would like to see a study. I would like to see.
For what? For what? For what?
I would like to see the rise of measles.
For what? There are no immigrants. Why? Why just immigrants? Why just immigrants? Is that the study that you want to have? You don't want to see a study with anti-vaxxers? Considering the child that did die from measles, her parents said they were anti-vaxxers. And they said they wouldn't vaccinate her now. So tell me why you want to see a study. No, not okay for both of them now. What I want to know is why you didn't say, I want to see a study to see how many of these measles patients are from parents who are anti-vaxxers. Instead, you went all the way to immigrants who don't have measles, who aren't dying from measles, and who aren't bringing it here.
Do you know that for a fact?
Fuck yeah, I do. Yes, I do.
Okay.
Because I can read.
Well, okay, so read me your source.
I just did. The World Health Organization is the first one that came up. I'll give you another one. Give me just a second. So I will give you another one. Give me just a second. So you can go to the Pan American Health Organization, right? The last time that Venezuela had a measles outbreak was in 2020, and it's under control, and they are vaccinating. I can tell you, you can go to UNICEF, and you can see that as well. I can give you another one. You can go to sciencedirect.com and you can find it. You can go to the Measles and Rubella Partnership Program. And just for shits and giggles, let me just give you this. Mexico has been measles free since 1996. Let me just be clear, folks. What you won't come in here and do with me, what you won't come in here, and yeah, she's teacupping now. What you won't come in here and do with me is try to blame some more shit on immigrants that didn't have nothing to do with nothing. That's what we're not going to do.
From the CDC, from the MMWR, from February to May, showing increase in measles in migrants. You gonna look that one up?
So again, let me just give it to you again. Mexico has been measles free since 1996, Shanna.
Citing something from the MMWR stating that from the CDC stating that from February to did see a surge in a migrant shelter of measles in Chicago.
Because they got it from us. They got it from us. Hold on. I'm just going to wait for her right here. We're going to stick right here for just a minute, y'all. So Shayna, hold on one moment, please. One moment, please. So just so that you know, Mexico has been measles free since 1996. I'm literally on the National Network for Immunization Information about literally all of it. And just so that we can go right here, because I have some information for you.
Did you look at did you see the CDC?
I'm on the CDC's website.
Publication?
I'm on the CDC's website.
Okay.
I'm on the CDC's website right now. Okay.
Okay. It's from May of 2000. May 6th. 2024.
Jesus Christ, help me out. So, do you understand that if you had migrants that got measles in a shelter in Illinois, they got it from us?
No, they didn't.
Well, where do you think they got it from?
Well, as the article demonstrates that it came from the southern border and then from Venezuela.
No, ma'am. What's the article? Give it to me. What's the name of the article at the top?
I did. I just read.
Say it again.
Measles outbreak associated with migrants.
Okay,
in
so
shelter.
Give me a second. Hold on, I got you. Give me a second.
You already looked at it. I thought you already.
I'm on the
looked at it.
CDC's website. Let me show you. So, oh, hold on. So, So this is a study that was done about a specific outbreak in a shelter. And let me tell you what it says. Give me 1 second. So let me finish what I'm telling you. Okay. So hold on 1 second. Because I'm reading the summary real quick. So here's what I want to know.
Here we go.
Here we go. What? Who said here we go? No. I know. Hold on. I'm getting there. Page 5 at the end. That's where I'm going. Give me a second. So, hey, whoever said page 5, tell me where you saw it. Oh, the article PDF. Did you do the PDF at the end? Yeah, I saw the 1-year-old was first. Hold on a second. Is it when you say the end, look under the abstract? That's where I was. Hold on. And then I started scrolling to the end.
Hello, mommy.
Where are y'all seeing under the abstract? Yeah, I know. So here's what it says. It says that out of the 57, it was at a migrant shelter. A 1-year-old had it first. I want to be clear about, please don't interrupt. It's just rude. Because I'm not. But let me just show you. So 16 cases of the measles occurred among persons who had received at least one dose of measles vaccine before the first known exposure, right? Period. This is about right above the acknowledgments. Hold on one second. Gotcha. Okay. Oh, Shanna, where'd you go? Well, just for everybody else, let me get it. She must have read what y'all said. So here's what it says. Here's what it says. Oh, Jesus. It says the index patient's arrival in Chicago months before the illness onset suggests that the disease was acquired locally. So again, they got it from us. The 1-year-old that was the index patient had actually arrived in Chicago months before the illness onset, suggests that the disease was acquired locally, and to date, a direct epidemiologic link to another case has not been identified. Shayna, I wish you hadn't left, but I hope to God you come back or watch this shit on YouTube. So, Shayna, you gonna come back and apologize to me? Appreciate y'all for helping me find it. Shayna, girl, come back. I want to talk to you. I'm waiting on you to apologize to me. I'm waiting on you to apologize, Shayna. Come back. Come back. Miss, I work in public health, but can't read the damn full document. Shit. Let me be clear, folks. Immigrants are not the cause of measles in this country. It is anti-vaxxers. That is who is the cause of of measles in this country. It don't have shit to do with immigrants. Y'all can stop blaming them on your damn cats and dogs disappearing. You can stop blaming them for your housing. You can stop blaming all of them. And let me tell you who is the cause of every bit of this. The same group of people. So let me just be clear. The same group of people, the 1%, which RFK belongs to, his ass plays a leading role in this anti-vax bullshit. He is part of that same 1% that's running these corporations that are buying up all the housing and driving up prices. Those same people are the ones that are creating medical monopolies in your communities. Those are the same people that are not wanting to pay you a living wage. The same people that don't want you to unionize so that you can demand benefits and decent working conditions and decent working hours. These are the people, folks. It's not immigrants. It's not poor people. It's not LGBTQIA people. It's not Black people, brown people. It's not. Just so that we're clear. It is none of those people. It's the same people that do not want to pass responsible pew-pew legislation, even though for the first time in history, as of 2019, the number one unaliving of our children is pew-pews, not car accidents. We can regulate the shit out of an automobile, but not pew-pews. Why? Because of the money that comes from the NRA. That's why. Don't talk to me about who cares about this country. Do not talk to me about who cares about this country, because it's not the people that want to take away all of these damn programs. It ain't them. It's not the people that hires an oil executive to run the EPA. It is not the people that reduces the daggone requirements for these corporations and the shit that they're putting in the air. Come on, all of y'all who live back home. You know what's in the air from Eastman and Domtar. I can't with y'all. Now, here's what gets me. You actually have parents of these children who are getting measles telling you, we're not vaccinating. They're telling you that. But y'all aren't actually wanting to see a study about that. You want to see a study about brown people that ain't got nothing to do with nothing except a desire to get away from horrible conditions, oftentimes dangerous conditions, and provide for their families. I'm so tired of y'all taking racism and dressing it up as some other shit. We're not doing that today. We are not doing that today. See, this is what happens when this is what happens when I get whatever. All right, can I do a couple of public service announcements for people? Oh, I wish she hadn't left either, but you know what it is she read what I read when somebody said just enough the acknowledgments, and she read that shit and left. That's why. She read it and left. Right, Mr. Barrios, we are sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I am sick and tired of public officials that do not give a shit about people. I am tired of governors and Congress people and senators on the state and congressional level. I am tired of people who are sitting up there telling you how much they love Jesus and don't do a damn thing that Jesus said to do. I'm tired of all of them. They need to be out of their positions. Every single one of them needed to be voted the fuck out. And any Democrat that voted for this administration, any Democrat that voted yes for these people, you need to be gone too, because you're part of the problem. Just very clearly, I want to say that. Anybody that voted for these people, you are part of the problem. None of them deserve to be in those seats. If you compromise the lives of people, if you compromise the quality of life for people, if you compromise for corporate daggone tax cuts and millionaires and billionaires, you do not deserve to be in the seat that you are with. Folks, I cannot say this enough. This is not about Republican and Democrat. This is not about that. This is about anybody that is sitting in those seats collecting a check, supposedly to do the will of the people, but aren't doing the will of the people, because the majority of the country believes that women should have the access to AB. The majority of the country believes that. The majority of the country agrees that we should not have religion in our laws. The majority of the country believes that we should have universal health care. The majority of the country believes in public education. That's what the majority of the country believes. The majority of the country, by the way, believes in safer pew-pew laws. Did you know that? Republican and Democrat alike. Did you know that? Those are facts. Stop acting like we're divided. We're not. We are on the same page. The people who want you to believe that we are divided are the people that want to stay in office, do their insider trading, make a shit ton of money off the backs of people while they sit on their ass and have the best health care possible. Those are the people. Let them come to the emergency room in your town. Let them come to the emergency room in rural or inner cities. Let them go get their health care there and see if they're satisfied with it. That's any side of the aisle. That is absolutely any side of the aisle. Every single one of them needs to be gone. And I do not care. I do not care if they are Democrat or Republican. If you voted in favor of any of these people, you need to be gone. And the same way, let me just say this to any Democrat, the same way, you all, people say, well, my vote doesn't count because I'm in a sea of red, and you all say vote anyway. That's the same way I feel about you damn Democrats in office. I don't care that the Republicans have the majority. You vote for the people. I don't care if you're a blue dot in Congress in a sea of red. I don't care. You vote the way you are elected to vote. Period. Okay. I done got pissed. Let me be clear, folks. If you come in my lives ever, you will not dress up racism, homophobia, transphobia, sexism, ageism, ableism. You will not dress up any of that shit as anything else in here, because I will call you on it every time. I will call you on it every time. Not doing that here. So, yeah, we call a thing a damn thing around here. So, folks, things that you do want to know about. If you are in Virginia, I will be at the Virginia Rural Caucus as their keynote speaker on the 26th, 25th. I don't even know what damn day. 25th or 26th, one of them days. That's the weekend that I'll be there. Appreciate you, Carla. Also happening virtually on the 26th is the Rural Democratic Leaders Conference hosted by ruralorganizing.org. Now, here's what I will tell you is I know these people. They are fantastic people. Okay? So even though this may say Democratic Leaders Conference, let me just tell y'all something. It has to come from the Democratic side because there's too many Republicans that have been on board with this. However, there are Republicans right now that need to find your courage. You need to find your courage and do what is right for American citizens. That's what has to happen. I will also be speaking at this event virtually. It is virtual. It is free. You can go to their website and register. All right. Geez, oh Pete, folks. It's a lot. All right. So, having said every bit of that, I think that is like the public service announcements. The document that I read from today is the first link in my link tree. I don't remember her full handle. All I know it was Shayna something. Yeah, Katrina, it's a lot, right? Folks, absolutely get on those phones, get on those emails, write letters to the editor. This cannot happen. Real talk. We deserve better than this. And let me just say this, even the people that voted for Trump deserve better than this. Seriously, y'all, just because they voted the wrong way doesn't mean they're not a human being. They are. Okay. Well, Renee, here's my thing, right? We have to get to a place where we stop, exactly, Melinda, stop dehumanizing everyone. Stop dehumanizing everyone. Appreciate you, Brandy. Right? I'm just being serious, folks. We have to get past this. Right, dirty bad bloggers. We have to start sharing with them what the consequences are, what the impact is. They dehumanize me too, Renee, but listen, when you say I'm not there yet, here's my thing, get the fuck there, because we don't have much time. Y'all are letting your egos get in the way of what the work that has to be done. We don't have time. We don't have time to sit and sulk and be mad and take it personal. We don't have time. We have a whole country we have to save. Nobody's got time for egos, folks. Nobody. Our children require us to do the work. Well, you can say you're doing the work, but listen, listen, folks, I'm not asking you to go hug a damn MAGA today. I'm not. What I am saying is we have to be a place that people want to come to. I'm just saying, I don't have fear of what they're capable of. I don't. And in fact, I have the exact opposite. I have a tremendous amount of encouragement and hope for what all of us can do together. Mine too, Renee. Mine too. I don't have to agree with them, and I'm not asking you to reach across the aisle. That's not what I'm asking you to do. What I'm asking you to do is be a place on the other aisle that they can come to if they want to. Nobody wants to come to you while you're still calling them dumb and saying, fuck around, find out. Nobody wants to come to you and join you on that side while you're calling them dumb and ignorant. Nobody wants to come on that side. You have to be a place where people want to come to. I'm not asking you to go get nobody. But what I am saying is that you have to be a place that they want to come to. We don't have time for this. We do not have time. Well, we do see it differently. And I'll tell you what, I see it very differently. No, it's not get out your kid gloves. I don't handle people with kid gloves. What I do handle people with, all people with, is compassion and respect and authenticity. That I do. because I would also want someone to treat me the same way. Right, Janice, carve. Period, folks. I don't know, based on what you're saying, I don't hear compassion. Nobody's saying give them a pass. You can still carve. No, Slim Shady, it's not. But let me just tell you, I don't know you. I'm just going by what you're saying. I don't know you at all. What I will say, folks, is when we keep dismissing people and say, I'm not there yet, they dehumanized me, whatever, that does not sound compassionate. Now, maybe it is for you. I don't know. But what I can say, folks, is we don't have time for our egos. I am hearing you all. I am the boss. I'm going right now. I am hearing you all. And I'm not saying that I don't understand the frustration. Of course I do. I have it all the time. If you knew how many Trump supporters and MAGA folks I deal with regularly, I do. Of course you do. Of course you do. Listen, we all have a right to feel however we feel. What I am saying is that those feelings can't be more important than us getting where we need to be, or we will not have a country, folks. I don't know that everybody understands that. I don't know if everybody understands that. It's literally the whole damn country that's at risk. The whole country. No, Daisy girl, not.
Okay, got it.
I just gave you all my suggestions, Senshi. I literally do this work every day. How do we get where we need to be? It has to start with you first. It absolutely has to start with you. It's not about giving anybody a pass. It's not about like letting them slide. You can hold people accountable, but doing it in a way where they can receive it. If the way that you hold people accountable, if the way that you do things isn't in a way that is receivable from people, it's not going to do any good. This is what I keep saying to people. You can know where to go and who to talk to. You can know what to talk to them about. But if you don't know how to talk to them with compassion, authenticity, respect, and vulnerability, it's not going to happen. When you say how, Doug, so for me, the way that I do it, teaching our public, the class, I will, anybody, but let me just say this, folks, okay? Make sure that you're not using language that dehumanizes anybody else. Make sure you're not using language that, and let me just say this. Are there going to be people that don't hear you and they're assholes? Sure. Can you be mad at them people and cuss them out if necessary? Sure. But what I'm saying is the majority of the time. And if you can't get all the way to compassion, start with empathy. Because I'll tell you what I think about often. I think about the people that are simply being taken advantage of. Yeah, Gabriella, absolutely. Yeah, I think sometimes it's necessary. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so listen, my whole thing is this, right? I start with empathy for for the people, for MAGAs, when you say that, it's so interesting when you say that. Listen, let me tell you how the people that got taken advantage of by Donald Trump, the Heritage Foundation, and all of those guys, these are people, listen, people, the only time that people get taken advantage of like that in a cultish like environment, those are people that are suffering. Those are people that are lacking. Those are people that are hurt, and they are looking for someone. Yeah, they did, Renee. They 100% did, because they believed what they were told. And in my opinion, yeah, it's hard. I didn't say it was easy. I didn't say it was easy. But absolutely. And there are two things that were utilized, major things that were utilized to make this happen. One was racism, and the other was religion. And y'all, pastors take advantage. Listen, racism and religion, they were the major avenues of how we got here. Okay. Yeah, Linda, I've done the training once already with people. I will do it again. It was one of my most attended sessions in Michigan. Let's do this, because all my mom is here, my grandbabies are here, and I really do need to go. I really do. However, I will be here. I will be here tomorrow. I will try to get started earlier. Okay. I will schedule another workshop. Y'all, every workshop, yes, all the recordings are saved. Listen to me. Every workshop that I do is free. Every workshop that I do is free. And what I do is I put the link in my link tree for people to register. That's it. I will get another one scheduled for some day next week, and we will do carve. It's already on YouTube, Janice. Am I coming back to Michigan? I don't know. I know that I just left Michigan on Sunday. I was up at the Sioux. Appreciate you guys. I was up at in the UP in the Sioux for the Michigan Democratic Rural Caucus. So we will do, appreciate you, Carla. We will do carve. And there's a possibility that I'm coming to Detroit. I just don't know for sure about that. There's a possibility that I'm coming to Detroit in the next 3 months, but I don't have like actual confirmation on any of that yet. It's just a soft possibility at the time. Yes, Janice, you can. I'm supposed to be coming to Indiana May 3rd, but I have to double check and make sure that all of that is still a go, Wawa. But that is the date that I'm supposed to be in Indiana. So there's so much going on. Yeah, I need to get to my family. I will be back tomorrow morning. Okay. And we can dig into this some more. Yeah, Indy. Actually, just like, it's a place that's about 20 or 30 miles north of Indianapolis. I forget the name of the town she said. I have no idea, Nicole. I don't even project those things. I'm not Miss Cleo, right? So, yeah, appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for liking, caring, sharing, all of the things. Want to stop off in Arizona. Yeah, you guys are very welcome. And I will try to get the last carve training up on YouTube, and go from there. Okay. I wish I had the recording of my session in Michigan, because, and maybe we'll do this on TikTok one day. Maybe we'll do this, right? Maybe we'll do, where you guys come up on the panel. Sounds good, Stacey D, where you guys come up on the panel and you can role play with me. You can be MAGA, you can be the Republican, and I will be me. And we can discuss some of these topics. and I'll role play them just like off the top of my head. This is what I did in one of my breakout sessions that I facilitated. They were having a difficult time about, well, when I say this, they say that. When I say this say that. And so I just absolutely just said, okay, well, just pretend you're them and go with me. Yeah. So, mandarific, I don't even know what that means. So folks, make sure that you join the Discord. My Discord is the little game controller link that is, I don't know why this just went blurry, but it did. My game controller link in my link tree is how you join Discord. There's a non-subscriber side and a subscriber side to my Discord. So make sure that you join that. At the top of my link tree is all my socials and how you can follow me. There's also a link to listen to my podcast, which the podcast has a couple of new episodes that are about to come out. I am behind. So I've got to make time to get those recorded and get them up, but they will be up soon. So yeah, make sure that you're doing that. Download the podcast, subscribe to all the things, and I will see you all tomorrow. Okay. Take care, my people. Peace out.